Yo, I like this view. Other than I'm looking down the fucking ground.
Yeah, guys, just so you know, this is the situation that we have going on right now.
What up?
There are chairs over there, by the way, that he's not using.
You don't have to sit on the floor. You're making this harder on yourself.
Chris kicked me away from his fucking, director table over there, so he's like...
6 feet, stay over there.
We're like 9, bitch. I could have stayed over there.
You guys are both at desktops, right?
I'm at a desktop, and Cody's sitting on the floor on a laptop.
You got a desktop on the floor.
Cody, maybe you could just come over here.
We tried that already.
Come on,
I know, but I'm screen recording now. Like, I'm screen recording, so we should be good.
Yeah, I'm recording as a backup, just in case something fucks up.
So we have 3 screen recorders right now.
Yeah.
I'm recording with my phone.
The whole time, just...
Wait.
Just in case, I got it.
Say that again. That was funny. I missed it. Say it again.
I'm gonna go on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
All right, are we better now?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like when little kids record their Xbox gameplay with their phone on their, like, giant fucking TV. They're like,
Upload a new video.
just, like, recording it like that. Love it.
Little kid, I'm pretty sure Cody does that whenever he wins a game of Warzone.
Fuck yeah, I do.
At least you've won a game of Warzone. I can't fucking win that, dude.
I've got 12 now and 6 solos.
Damn, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a freak.
I need to play solos because every time I play like quads or trios, I get fucked on by some sweaty kids, and I don't like it. Annoying. I need to stop. It's heartbreaking.
It's okay. It's okay. Soon you'll be better. You just gotta play with good. You just gotta play with good.
I gotta play with good people. We can get a team going.
Yo, we should.
We can do crossplay.
Yeah. Chris, what are you doing there? Dude? You actually, like chilling or?
Yeah, dude, I'm chilling. What's up?
You freaking like editing a video over there? What are you doing?
No, dude, I'm chilling. We're on a podcast right now, right?
What are you reading? New Times? What are you doing?
No, I'm just chilling. What's up?
What's up?
C Logic podcast show is live. I don't know what episode this is. DJ, do you know?
28.
There's no fucking way.
I don't think so. I think no. This is our first time doing a podcast with 2 returning people, though.
Uh-oh.
And 4 people at once, right? No,
No. I mean, like, this is the first time that we're having people that were on it before come back onto it.
that is true.
You guys are a couple idiots for letting us come back on this thing.
Yeah, well, you must have run out. You must have run out of guests if you're letting my ass back on. You're like, oh, shit.
Well, you were on like almost a year ago, apparently.
December 22nd. We just checked out on Spotify, and
Oh yeah. By the way, we're on Spotify now. Apparently, we didn't.
Apparently, it stopped after it stopped at episode 6. You guys haven't released anything else on Spotify,
which is super weird.
Spotify listened to episode 6 and said they're not going anywhere.
Nah, this Corbin guy's a
Gotta
fucking
cut this
idiot.
stuff off right now.
Nah, get him out of here. Get him out.
We don't want this guy anymore.
We got enough of him.
I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back.
Oh, you nerd. Yeah, can you refill me up? Hey, look, we're in the same place. Yo, can I be the thumbnail for So Corbin, how you been, dude?
I'm good. Doing all right. Oh wait, we starting now?
Oh yeah, we're in it.
Okay.
I think we started like 10 minutes ago.
Even though we just lost one of our guys.
Cody likes to just push play and just let it roll.
Just let it roll.
I do.
Yeah.
That's what Joe Rogan does. That's what anybody does.
Yeah.
Anybody, everybody, and anybody.
I wish you were Joe Rogan, because then you could get a $10 million contract to work with Spotify.
We're working on it. We're on Spotify now, so we did the first step. We're just waiting for the check now.
We're just waiting for the check. I was messing around with Anchor. You guys ever used Anchor before for podcasting stuff? You guys
no, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so I was fucking around with Anchor earlier, and like I have a second podcast that I was working on, or like messing around with, and it was basically like enable advertising, enable sponsorships. I'm like, we only released one episode and got like 5 listens. Why do you want me to be sponsored so bad? It's like, because Anchor is free, they get all their money from sponsorships. So they really press you to, if you're on Anchor, it's free. It's not like Podbean. Like, I forget how much Podbean is. Like, how much is Podbean a year?
Once you get over like 10 episodes or the equivalent to a certain amount of gigabyte load, it's like $15-20 a month, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
Depends on the package you get.
Yeah. So,
No.
where's mine?
Yeah, Chris, where's his? Let's go drive
Hey,
15 hours.
Cody,
to
can you hand that? Can you hand that drink down to me, please? Yeah, hand it down.
Here.
Thanks. Thanks, bud.
Oh wow, that was nice.
The size was
that
not.
was smooth.
The size was really off.
That was smooth on my end, except for it went
And
like
like-
diagonal across.
And like it changes color when it time warps like that, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Tenet. I want that. I'm so upset
Exactly.
that movie's not coming out.
We are Tenet.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
make it-
never coming out.
It's never coming out. What?
What's Tenet?
It's Chris Nolan's new
Christopher
movie,
Nolan.
that he's been hyping up.
Oh, that's right.
People have been saying like, well, I mean, obviously he and people involved have been hyping it up, but like he kept it really hush hush. So it's his new like thriller sort of. He doesn't call it. I mean, I guess it's kind of a time travel movie, but it's like, it's kind of like a heist movie with time travel involved in it, and it's supposedly like they filmed it in like 20 or 30 different countries, something crazy like that. I'm exaggerating. It's a lot though. But yeah, they've this is a movie that it cost a lot. I think it was the most expensive movie to make, and the problem is they have to obviously break even. You got to make like at least like, I think they said like, God, I don't remember how much it was. It may have been like 400 million at least to break even, something like that. God. And it's like you're not going to make that during this time. So they keep delaying the movie. It was supposed to come out in July, and they just keep delaying it. And now everyone's like, all right, I don't think we're ever going to get this movie anytime soon, because he wants a big theatrical release for it, but it's not like.
Well, yeah, Christopher Nolan's a big movie guy. He's like, wait, no, is that Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino?
Both.
Yeah,
They both are. Like,
Yes.
well, which one is it that said? Which one is it that said that? Like they shoot their film specifically for theaters.
Probably
Like they don't
Nolan.
when they're.
I don't
Probably
know.
Nolan.
One of them said something like that when they shoot their film, they shoot it in a certain aspect and everything like that, to where like it is made specifically for the big screen. Like they're not taking into consideration what it will look like on a TV or anything like that.
I think he shoots a lot of his stuff in IMAX so that it's meant to look really good in the theater, but like, yeah, that's one of the reasons why he keeps pushing it back. He doesn't want to release it on VOD. He doesn't want to release it on demand. He wants people to see this in theater, because everyone is hyping up this movie saying like this is gonna like be like a defining movie of like the next 20 years. So everyone keeps hyping this movie up like it's gonna be like insane, and he's like, I want to release it.
Sounds like,
so
based on your description of it, it sounds like an inception of the movie Inception.
pretty much. Probably something
Like a heist, but instead of going through someone's dream, you're going through time.
Yeah, that's kind of how it seems. It's been really hush hush. Like, apparently when Robert Pattinson read the script, they fucking locked him in a room, like threw away the keys sort of thing. Yeah, it's really locked down. Yeah, they yeah, but you know,
That's crazy.
yeah, that's wild.
It's just like Heath Ledger Joker status over here.
My man, rest in peace, my man. Sucks.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence.
But we can't have a moment of silence because it's a podcast and that's
That's right.
dead time. So gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving.
You're giving
That's
people
what
a
he
chance
would've
to click
wanted.
away. Yeah, exactly.
That's what he
Good
would have
call.
wanted. Let's keep this thing going.
Exactly. So Corbin, Chris, obviously welcome back to the show, and a lot of things have happened since we last had both of you on, even though Chris was more recent. But Corbin, you just got
Yes.
some big news the other day. What's going on, dude?
A lot of shit. A lot of bad shit.
Jeez. Let's start this podcast on a light note.
On a light
Dude, the way
note,
you
we had
started
some
that
laughs to
sounds
start
like
off
good
with.
news.
I got God, this is a really positive episode.
No, because we're gonna gas them up. We got some potential good news. So
We got- I got-
I
I got two big whammies this week. So my dog died on Monday, the family dog. Well, it's my parents' dog, but like I got it for my birthday when I was like still in high school. I think it was like 2010. So yeah, I was like 15. She just had a lot of like different cancers and stuff just festering in her body. So we put her down on Monday, and then 2 days later, on Wednesday, I got told you're being laid off from your job that you've been at for over 2 years. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I mean, it's like I used the term fired, and somebody told me probably shouldn't use the term fired because it's not accurate. I'm like, okay, all right, laid off, because I'm still getting like a severance and like shit like that. So it's not like it's not the end of the world, but it definitely sucks. But at the same time, I will be honest, I was kind of looking to get out of that job for a while. I've been applying for other jobs and stuff more geared towards what I want to do for a career and or closer to it. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. It's like I kind of wanted a way out anyway, but it just sucks that I can't leave on my own terms. So,
no, that makes sense. And not even like they're on the bus, but like it's just big. And I mean, sometimes people need to talk about it a little bit. Plus, like we caught up with you today, and I just want to hear your perspective on it because all I saw was a Facebook post, and I mean, I know it's sad, I know it's like, but losing your dog, that was fun to walk in your memory lane on the Instagram story overload. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, she's a hoot. Yeah, it was. I'm sure people were getting like, oh my god, this guy is like so sentimental, like posting like 1,000 Instagram stories of his.
There's a lot
of his dog. I did. I made entire highlights for my dead dog on Instagram. With that dedicated. But yeah, she was really peculiar. She was weird. So we had a lot of fun with her. But anyways, yeah, I guess I don't know. I was more torn up over that, and then when I found out about my job, it was kind of more shocking. I was like, I've already been punched in the face, so it's like losing my job was just a punch in the gut. I'm like, I've already been punched in the face. Nothing else is gonna hurt as bad. So I was like, yeah, just keep it coming, or don't, please, universe, stop it. I don't want to lose anymore, please. But I keep telling myself like, you know what, still relatively happy and healthy. Kristen and I are still alive, knock on wood. No one that we know has COVID or anything like that. So.
This podcast won't come out till Monday, so we'll update them if anything changes.
Yeah. So it could be better, but it also could be worse, and I need to keep reminding myself of that. And I got a lot of people reaching out, including you guys, showing your support. So I really appreciate it. So.
Of course, dude, and that's kind of one of the shed light on it, dude. It's tough, especially during this what we're going on, and it's heavy. So, but hopefully some good news. Get you incorporating some projects and plenty more content to come. Want to drop a little more hints with your other projects you were filming on earlier?
Yeah, some of the stuff that I mentioned last time was like pretty much what's still happening because like COVID kind of delayed everything. So the stuff that I mentioned last time I was on it, like in December of last year, is still what I'm working on. So still working on a Batman short fan film. We're gonna film the rest of that at the end of the month, and then we're gonna have a long weekend shoot in at the beginning of October and. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be released this year. It'll probably be released in the early 2021, but we're going to finish shooting it this year, I think. But other than that, just been writing some stuff as well. Got a couple more short films in the works. Here's the thing. I'm not bold enough, nor am I brave enough to be like Chris and just release a feature film right off the bat. Dude's got balls. And I'm not, I am not ready for that yet. I'm not ready to take that on. So I've been churning out some short films instead. Just feel like that's a lot easier, but yeah.
I mean, dude, I made like dozens of short films.
That's right, you did. That's right.
Beforehand, and a lot. I mean, there's even more than anyone's ever seen because some of them I just never released. I made it, and I was like, okay, either I don't want to release this, or maybe it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, and it's like I learned what I needed to learn, and I'm not going to release it. So there's, dozens of stuff that no one's ever seen before. There's dozens of stuff, and not only that, but also like wedding videos and commercials and like all types of different stuff. So it takes a lot of practice though. And I even look at the first feature as practice.
Yeah.
It's just a longer short film. And harder.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it from now on. Don't call them features anymore. Be like, hey, did you guys see that long short film in theaters? That's what we're just gonna.
Dude, I call it all just a movie. If it's short or long, I just call it a movie.
Exactly. But yeah, it's every project. I feel like you learn something new. Like I look back on my first short film that I made last year, and it's like I can't even almost watch it now because I cringe at some of it. I'm like, oh god, I did this wrong, I did that wrong. I made a poor choice.
Me and Cody.
Yeah.
Me and Cody do that with last week's video.
Yeah. Me and Chris, it's funny both of y'all say that because me and Chris had a 30-minute conversation this morning about, or was it last night? Maybe both were like, when you drop a video, you enjoy it. But as soon as you're about to edit or the next one, you hate the last one. And then when you look at it from 2 years ago, you're like, get that shit out of here right now. Like, that is terrible. Look at your first video, your head explodes. So I think that's hilarious you both said that. But I feel like what Chris says is so valuable. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you from plateauing.
Yeah.
That's what keeps the drive and like the hunger just fueling full force. So.
I don't know that there's any artist in the world that is 100% satisfied with anything that they've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't think it's possible. And I just think like if you've ever, I don't know, I feel like if you're the type of person that's made you know, painted something or drawn something or edited something or released a song and you're like, this is flawless, then I feel like you have the wrong mentality. Like I feel like there's always like everything is a learning experience, and like Chris said, even just, you know, making your first feature film is an experience. You learn something with each project or each. It doesn't have to be just film. Anything that you work on, you learn something that you didn't know before. Like I look back to where I was a year ago, and I'm just like, I didn't know what any of this shit meant. Like even 2 years ago, I didn't know anything. I still feel like I don't know anything. Like
What first got you interested in film in the first place?
I feel like I'm talking a lot. Like, I feel like this is like I don't want this to be the Corbin podcast.
Don't worry, Cody will take over soon. He'll take over most of the talking soon.
He'll get tired of me. I listened to the podcast that you were on recently, Chris, and we kind of had similar backgrounds. Like it's something I've always been interested in. I've always made really just like cringy, stupid videos as a kid. Not saying your videos were cringy and stupid, but mine were. But mine is yeah.
Dude, I made a video of me shirtless getting shot with an airsoft gun with "Baby" by Justin Bieber playing in the background. So.
Do you still have access to this video?
Yeah, I do. I think it's on Facebook still.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Send me the link.
Yeah, check it out.
We're gonna drop it right here.
Yeah, I'll reshare it.
Just pause the whole podcast and just play it in the middle.
It's gonna play right now.
Did you submit that to any?
Audio, right?
Did you submit it to any film festivals?
Yeah, one Sundance.
So I was gonna say Sundance or Toronto. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God.
I've been interested in filmmaking since I was a kid. I mean, it's like I've always liked telling like stories, if that makes sense. Like I think I told this to Cody, but like when I was a kid, like when my brother and I would play with toys, I wouldn't just take the toys and then throw them down and stuff like that, like or just pick them back up the next day. What I would do is my brother and I would like create like a narrative. Like we would watch shows like Dragon Ball Z or Pokemon and stuff like that, like cartoons or kid shows that had like an actual narrative throughout the entire thing. And what we would do is like we actually had like storylines and character development. We would I've always, that interest has always been there. But then when I was in like middle school and like stuff like that, I made videos with my friends, including like Ross from high school. Some of my church buddies back when I went to church and wasn't a heathen. So like I've made videos all the time, but then when I graduated, I went to Christopher Newport for biology. And then when I graduated, I was like, is this really what I want to do? And then I heard that my neighbor, when I was living with my parents, my neighbor, his brother is Mark Neveldine. And I heard about his background, heard about how he started, the guy that directed Crank and Gamer and the Vatican tapes. Heard about how he kind of had a similar thing as me, as he went to school for something different and he didn't really go to film school or anything. I heard about his story and that kind of inspired me. And then I heard about your story and that kind of inspired me. And I was just like, why don't I just fucking do this? It's like, it's something I've always been interested in. I've always like had the idea to make movies in my head and it never really went away. I thought it was just being an imaginative kid, but it never really went away. I was just like, I feel like there's like stories I need to tell and stuff like that. And I just was like, let me start making some music videos with this guy, TJ Neveldine, who was, like I said, Mark Neveldine's brother, who was my neighbor. So I started making music videos with him in 2018, still do music videos with him and stuff every now and then. Then I started working on short films last year, and I'm still doing that, still doing short films and music videos and stuff like that, and that's kind of where I'm at now, just still basically having my own film school, learning everything either on YouTube or masterclass, looking up, a plethora of videos, and just talking to other people and just learning as much as I can. So
Yeah, it's all free, dude.
it's all free, man. You don't need to go into debt. It's great.
It's pretty great. Why do you like Batman?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like, I actually was not like, it wasn't my idea to necessarily make this Batman film. So I work with a filmmaker in Richmond. His name is Steve James, and because I was trying to reach out more into the Richmond scene, I'm like, okay, I can't make movies necessarily by myself. Well, you can, but I was like, I want to actually meet people and try to collaborate and get more experience working on other sets. So I reached out to this guy who had made a few films, and I was like, hey, let's work together. And the first film that I worked on of his was a Batman short film that he, wrote and directed and everything. And it's pretty much like, I mean, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called Batman Requiem for a Bat. And it's pretty much just, it's a short film, but it's mostly like 10 minutes of him just fighting. There's not much dialogue in it, but it's mostly just him beating the shit out of Deathstroke and stuff. And it's okay. I mean, it's definitely not like cinema perfection or anything, but, and then we worked on a couple other short films. I've done a couple 48-hour film projects. And then he was talking about, let's do another Batman short film. And I was like, okay. So eventually got to me being asked to do a Batman short film. And then I ended up co-directing and then writing it. So I was like, okay. But I mean, I've always liked Batman. I think he's a really complex character. I like that he is not like, I don't know, he's not like overly good. Like people, I mean, I'm not a huge Superman fan, but people always say Superman's kind of like this overly good-natured character, and Batman's not. Kind of like that edgy sort of grungy vibe to Batman. The dead parents thing, it's just like, it's great, right? It's the best, being that edgy. So I basically, long story short, I was roped into. I say roped in like it's a bad thing, but I was asked to be a part of this project, and I just ended up getting to the point where I was like writing and co-directing it. So, and I like Batman. I like the Batman Arkham games, the one that I played, and yeah, I watched a cartoon as a kid. Loved the Nolan films, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Let's just let's keep this going. So, this one's more fleshed out because the first Batman film that I worked on was like 10 minutes, but this one's like 40 minutes, and it's got like a lot more character development, and it's like kind of like half the length of a feature. It's got like more of a story to it. So
did you write it? Oh wait, hold on.
I did.
Cody, when I'm talking, you mute your mic, and when you're talking, I'll mute my mic.
Okay.
Clever.
It's a lot to remember.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
All right, testing.
One second, let me mute it.
So
Testing.
yeah, we kind of.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
Great.
Yeah, but we kind of. Yeah, you're good. But we kind of
Oh,
like.
now they're both muted.
That's okay.
I'll only unmute it if I'm talking, and then Cody will do the same, and then there'll be no echo.
Yeah. But yeah, I pretty much. I mean, I guess you could say I co-wrote it. Kind of came up with a story with this guy. With
So, what's
Steve.
your take on Batman?
So this
You can say. You can't say.
Can't exactly say. I mean, it's not.
Plot twist. He's an actual bat.
Well, we kind of went a little bit of a horror route this because it's kind of like him taking on Scarecrow, and there's kind of these strange heart attacks kind of happening at different parts of the city, and you're like, well, are they really heart attacks, or are they just being murdered without a trace? And then Batman kind of goes down this road and kind of does some investigative work, and then Catwoman wants to be roped into it, and he's just like, they obviously have a history, and he's like, no, I don't want to work with you. You don't play by my rules. And she's like, well, give me another chance. And it's kind of this whole back and forth.
Is there like a
flirtation
love
thing.
interest to it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Oh,
we got a whole sex scene and every. No, there's not a sex scene, but
wow. I was about to say.
Oh,
no. There's a little bit of that. I mean, there's like little tidbits and Easter eggs in there. Like Barbara Gordon is in it. We have a great actress playing Barbara, but he's kind of like this version of Batman is kind of one that my co-director already came up with. It's kind of after it's kind of like a version of Batman that's similar to the comics that he's already lost Robin at this point. They filmed another short film, so like it's really confusing because it's like there's 3 Batman short films. What am I doing with my fucking hands? There's 3 Batman short films that I'm semi involved in. The one that came out last year was supposed to be the second one, but it's the first one because the first one never got done. It never got finished editing. But in that one, like the Joker was in it, and I think Robin dies or something. I don't know. I haven't watched it. It's not done. So basically, this Batman is supposed to be very like it's kind of the typical Batman. I'm very standoffish. I don't want help. I don't want to work with Catwoman. I don't want Barbara Gordon. I don't want Batgirl. I don't want to train you, Batgirl or Barbara. He's very, very standoffish. He wants to be alone. He just wants to get shit done. And he's kind of a newer Batman on the scene. He's only been Batman for a couple of years, and people are still trying to figure out who this guy is. And without giving anything away, by the end of the movie, people have a pretty good impression of who they think he is, and it's not necessarily good. So
Is he
Does he kill people?
Ooh, that's a good question.
can't tell you.
Wow, so that means probably, which
can't
means
tell you.
you're doing a Batman that kills people. So I
I'm
see
not
what you're
saying
saying because you're
Now,
talking
he
about
could-
the Arkham games.
He
and
could
you guys
get
kill
he can
people.
get around
Does he
it
kill
by making it
people?
an
Does he
accident.
kill people in the Arkham games?
Bro, have you played the Arkham games?
I played the
He
first one.
Destroys people.
I was gonna
He
say, it's been a while.
destroys people.
And Arkham Knight, he does. I know for certain. That was
Right.
like the last or second to last.
The last one, right? Arkham Knight was the last
Yeah.
one. I only played Asylum, and I know he beat the shit out of
That
people.
one was my favorite. That one was like probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah,
Arkham
yeah.
Knight was kind of weak because it was the first one you can like truly explore the city in a very like.
People said
free-roam
City was
manner.
good. The second one, Arkham City was
It
pretty good.
it was, but there's something like special about Asylum. It was darker.
Yeah, and that's what we kind of tried to do that with this. So actually, shameless plug, there is a teaser of the Batman film on my YouTube channel. You can just type in Batman Dawn of Fear teaser trailer.
right now.
You guys both went.
That was a great video, dude. I'm really excited about this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe that happened after that.
It was crazy, right?
Love the music. Love the music.
Yeah. So yeah.
You gotta unmute your mic when you talk, Cody.
God, screw you, Chris.
You guys are plebs. You guys are noobs at this. But yeah, pretty excited to.
We're just samps.
That's right. I'm pretty excited to get this done. So yeah, not an original take on Batman. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely like the whole like. He's got to be kind of careful. It's like people don't know who he is yet. He's got to be careful about how he handles things. He works with Commissioner Gordon, but again, people are kind of unsure about him. He's not like a rumor. People know that he's there, but people don't really know anything about him. And this movie is basically about, Scarecrow is kind of pulling some strings, and Batman's, people's view of Batman is basically based on what happens in this movie. It's like people are kind of unsure. By the end of the movie, people most of Gotham has made a decision on who they think this guy is. So it's kind of about his journey to how he's perceived by the public, so to speak. So
I've
Are you
always really
shooting-
liked. Oh, go ahead.
Are you shooting Gotham in Richmond?
yes,
That's cool.
I love the relationship of Batman and Robin. Like, I love the father-son relationship, but not really father-son relationship. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that conflict and that dynamic has always been super interesting. Even though people make fun of Robin, like, I like that relationship that they
yeah.
have.
I want to do that. I'm like, I'd love to do like a prequel before this whole version of Batman that my co-director Steve came up with, where like what happened with him and Robin, or seeing what happened to Robin. I'd love to see what happened to him, but it's almost kind of better not knowing. You know what I mean? Like, so,
And it sounds like later on in your story, Robin would come, along. Like, I don't think Robin would even be in your story yet if he just became Batman, right?
he's been Batman. Yeah, I mean, he's been Batman for like, I would say about 2 years. It's in the script that he's been Batman for a couple of years, and I guess it doesn't have to be one-to-one to the comics. I mean, like, Nolan did whatever he wanted, so I'm like, whatever. I mean, I can do whatever I want to. So, but in this story, he's been Batman for a couple of years. Robin at some point joined him in those first couple of years, and then he died. That's what's implied in the story, at least. That
Getting more details. Okay.
So
I like that.
that's what's
If
implied.
we just
so.
keep talking, he'll keep leaking
I'm
things.
gonna shut up. You guys just gotta fucking watch this movie. I'm
Dude,
not.
I will extract the entire screenplay from you by the time this call's over.
I will happily send you the screenplay, but you can't. I get you some feedback from you, but you can't change the stuff that's highlighted in blue because we've already shot it. So if you hate it, too bad.
I'll read it for sure. I'll send you feedback if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got another script in the works that I want you to. That I might have you read if you're cool with that.
What's
as
it
well.
called?
It's called Forgotten Youth. I haven't mentioned it to really many people yet, but
Forgotten You. Ooh, I haven't mentioned it to many people.
Forgotten
I like
Youth.
that. Okay.
Youth.
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 Okay. Is it a feature?
No, it's a short, man. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for a feature.
Yeah, let me be in
Forgotten
that.
Youth.
You want to be in it?
Yeah, let me be in it.
Okay. Can you play?
Even if I'm like janitor number 3, I don't give a shit. I want to be in it.
Forgotten Youth is a great name.
Why does your short film have 3 janitors?
It doesn't. That's his movie. It's not mine.
I'm just taking a wild guess. It's either like tree number 8 or janitor number 3 or maybe like
Cody,
Jim Bob
I want to
number
hear
2.
about your janitor short film. Let's go, man. Come on.
Well, you got 3 guys at the end.
That's
I got
it.
nothing.
That's the whole movie.
That's all I've written so far.
Okay, cool.
That's all I've written so far.
It's in the works.
No, man, I could see a feature film with 3 janitors fighting over like the lead janitor role.
You've got
And,
a
like-
veteran. You've got a veteran from Vietnam. You've got the high school dropout where he doesn't have anything else to do, and then you've got the actual janitor that's been a janitor for like 3 decades.
Yeah, and
They're all
it
competing.
ends with them all mutually agreeing to share the lead role, the lead janitor role.
That's really
That's
sweet.
that's a little too like.
Well, they all come to an
None of them has to, like, die.
understanding that they're all pretty much the same person, and then you find out that they are the same person, and it's a person with multiple personalities.
So a
Psychological horror.
So
How about
like,
this? How about this? How about this? How about the 3 janitors are all ex-students who used to go to the school, and one of them used to like bully the other 2. So, but the other 2, like they all 3 of them ended up in the same place anyways, and like the 2 are trying to overtake the leader who would always bully them, and they're doing it for the glory of the kids at the school because all the kids like the bully. But these 2 guys who get him constantly bullied, like team up with the nerds at the school, and they overtake the bullies and the bully janitor.
Sounds kind of like I haven't seen it, but it sounds kind of like the premise of Revenge of the Nerds, maybe, but with janitors.
I like that. Have you seen Max Keebler's Big Day Off or Max Keebler's Day Off?
I want to say I have.
It's like an old Disney movie.
Yeah, I want to
Bro,
say I've
so
seen
good.
bits and pieces. If I have, it's obviously been in like a set.
Josh Peck is in it. He wears a bathrobe the entire time.
Yes,
Iconic shit.
dude,
oh, that's hot.
so good.
Wait, back to the 3 janitors.
We never left the 3 janitors.
We never left. We're still on it, homie.
We should do this. The 4 of us, 3 janitors, and someone direct it. Corbin,
Now-
Chris, fight to the death. He's directing it.
Corbin directs it.
Now,
No,
does one of the janitors
Chris
kill somebody
directs it
similar to
already.
how Batman does in your movie, right?
he does it. I'm not saying anything. You guys keep trying to get. I'm not saying shit. I'm not saying if he kills anyone.
Or one of them will already be dead like Robin and his
I said too
So
much.
you're saying Batman used to be a janitor? Or
Yes. He worked his
His
way
2
up.
parents were janitors and died at the school? Okay, gotcha.
I gotta hold on. Speaking of janitors, this actually is a segue into something very interesting. Pandemic's still going on. Hello, hi, sucks. I know we mentioned at the beginning. So Cody, I did a little bit of digging, not much, but I did a little bit of digging and found out that our alma mater, where we went to high school. Well, Chris, I keep forgetting. Did you go to high school or did you just go to 8th grade at RCS?
7th and 8th grade.
7th, 8th
Dude,
grade. Okay.
I thought he went to high school with me. And
I did
he
too. I
didn't,
just thought
so
I thought he
I'll
was
go
there for
back.
like a fucking 10 years, like me.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Dude, you got out.
Thank
You
God I
smart.
wasn't.
Thank God.
You just left that much of beam of light around everyone, Chris.
God.
Bro, I got out of there as soon as I could. I was not going another day with my shirt tucked in with a belt. Like, no,
No.
dude, I couldn't do it for one more day. I was out of there.
Sucked. Yeah.
All right, Corbin, I'm trying the bits. Well, what do you got? You got suspense.
So RCS, our alma mater, is coming back full time, 5 days a week, in-person classes in the next 2 weeks.
I heard about that.
And on top of that, they put a I almost said casting call. Fuck. a job not application.
Application.
A job. They put
No,
a
job.
What's the word? You know what I mean?
Job offer.
Not an offer, but I can't think of the fucking name. They put a
Like a job listing?
Yeah, they put a job listing for a new custodian on their Twitter, and like the requirements was like gotta be able to sanitize everything after students use it and shit like that. I'm like, come on, you're gonna ask for a new janitor position when you're forcing kids to go back. You don't have to go back to school. You wouldn't have to hire a new janitor if you guys just went virtual. But I just think
last janitor died.
That's fantastic, dude. So Cody, if you're real serious about this janitor thing, right? You need to really, put yourself in this role. and really start to kind of learn how to be a janitor.
You got to go full method.
And how else better to learn? Yeah. Yep.
Time
You
to
can probably
quit.
keep your hair like that.
Quit your job.
I'm not buying it.
Quit your job. You got to be a janitor. You're gonna be the hottest janitor that the school's ever had.
Don't gas me up like that.
You'd pick up so many middle schoolers, bro.
All right, that's some Jeffrey Epstein shit. That's
Don't
got to
do
go
that.
now.
Don't do
Sorry,
that.
sorry.
Don't do that, please.
We're in some really weird times, like Keelan Maxwell.
Cody-
You know, just
Cody would, for real though, be the janitor that's like friends with everybody at the school, and like he'd be the
Fuck
one
yeah,
that's
I would.
like he'd be the one that's like keeping up with kids and make sure that they do their homework and stuff. You know.
hey yo,
Like,
Tyrone,
well-
you do your homework. Hey
Yeah,
yo, little
yeah,
Bobby,
yeah.
you practice that dribble. Hey yo, I don't
Hey,
know.
Melissa,
Yeah,
you
I
coming
got
over
you,
later?
got
I mean, did you practice with your cheerleading? Yeah, cool. Don't worry about you, man. I don't know. I might have some ulterior motive. there.
I got you like just automatically put me in this janitor position all because I suggested a short film about janitors. You guys suck.
You gotta go
Is
mess.
this
with
what you
them.
think of me? Me and clean up doo doo like a
Dude,
janitor?
you're the one who asked Corbin to cast you as a janitor in his next movie.
That's right.
That what else? He's not gonna put me as fucking Batman. So I gotta. I'm not, so what else am I supposed to ask
So
for?
your second pick is the janitor.
I mean, they're
This is
close,
what
right?
else am I gonna get?
Why
I mean,
don't
I could
you-
be
no, no,
dead
no, no.
Robin, like
No,
laying
no.
in the grave like this. Like, I might get lucky and get that.
Why don't
You could play like
ask Chris.
Clayface, or you could play Scarecrow maybe. You could play a version of Scarecrow, like a
I think
really-
Cody.
Is it because
Cody
I'm
would
scary
be a
looking?
good. Cody would be a good dead Robin.
Yeah.
Like he
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
has
I
like the look of like a young superhero.
Yeah, I
Now
can
The
see
you're
it.
hair and everything going on right now.
Now
Cody.
you're gonna put like the Pokemon X's over my eyes. I'm in the grave, like like when someone
Yeah.
fainted. Like
yeah. Why don't you ask Chris? Why don't you ask Chris to be in one of his movies? He's making bigger moves than I am.
I have, and I'm still waiting. I'm offended. I'm not asked.
What's going on with you, Chris? Any changes
Yeah,
since
Chris.
the last episode?
Yeah, Chris, unmute yourself. What's going on?
Please,
Wait.
let's hear what's going on.
Yeah, wait, Chris. Are you going to talk about it?
Well, I was gonna go shoot a movie in Bulgaria next month, but I just got out of that, so we don't have to do that. I get to make my own movie, my own project I'm working on, so I'm excited about that.
Why
Yeah,
did
so
you?
I'm happy
Must
about
be
that.
real top secret.
Why did you want to get out of the movie in Bulgaria?
Because my movie is better.
Really? You gonna turn down those fat stacks
That's
for your own
a
movie?
that's a badass statement.
I don't do anything for money, dude. Everything is for movies. Everything is for the art, bro.
I do a lot of stuff for money, and a lot of it's unsavory. But yes, for the movies too.
I mean, you got a family, man.
I have 2 cats and Kristen. That's a family.
That's
still,
a
but yes,
that's a family,
that's a
dude.
family.
I like how the cats came first in that lineup.
That's right. That's right. But
Oh god,
yeah.
Chris, you turned down the Gypsy Girls and the big-breasted yodelers. I'm a little disappointed in you.
It'll be worth it, I promise.
Are you not going to talk about it on here?
He's
You're
gonna
gonna
be
save.
the
Are you
next-
going to save it for?
Dude, he's being smart. He's gonna be the next Quentin Tarantino.
He wants to. I'm just taking him on. I know he's not going to. He wants to.
Can you
If
tell
you
us
tell
about
me I'm
this
not
project?
going to, you know I'm going to.
No, I spilled the beans about Batman. You're gonna spill the beans about this movie. We're gonna hear it. Let's go. Chop chop.
All right.
It's your movie.
I
There's no
wanna do-
NDAs,
I
right?
wanna-
Let's go. Come on.
Do you want to do a condensed version, kind of like the you showed me earlier?
You need to call this podcast "I Spilled the Beans About Batman" as the title.
That's awesome.
I spilled the beans about Batman. I love it. All right, let's hear it, boss man.
All right.
All right,
So
so this
I'm,
He's sitting up now. He's getting ready.
I
Maybe
mean, if you
that's
guys
what-
want to hear it, I'll
I
tell you
do.
about
I
it.
do want to hear it. I just love how excited you're getting. Because I'm the same way when I geek out when people ask me about my films. I'm like, let me tell you. I love
You're
it.
not ready.
I am ready. I want to hear it.
Yeah. No. See, look how he's sitting up. He's getting close to the camera. He's ready.
Let's fucking.
God, I'm a beer in. I'm a little not equipped for this at this point. I'm pretty lightweight. So is DJ around? Can DJ hear me?
He's taking a leak or getting a drink.
All right, let me wait for him. I don't want to have to start over. I'm gonna get a drink too.
He said he
even though I
wasn't. He
should
said he
not.
wasn't interested. He's like, I don't want to hear about this
fuck your ravioli.
I don't want to hear about this fucking movie.
No, but all right, yeah, screw you, screw you, Chris. Hey, Corbin, I want to be in your movie.
You want to what?
Mute your mic, Chris. I want to be in your next movie. Seriously.
I'm trying to.
All jokes aside, no janitor, no Robin. I want to be like
the star.
Antagonist status.
I want to be the it. I want to be the lead, dude. I want to put you in one. I do want to put you in one at some point, somehow.
Especially when I get a career change going on and you got more free time and I'm in more of the creative realm.
Are we still keeping this in? Or are we cutting this?
We'll keep it in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, because
we can keep it.
What is
we don't cut.
We don't cut. We don't cut on this podcast. Everything
now,
goes in.
Cody.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught this, right? I know Corbin thinks he pulled a fast one on us, but I caught it. I've been paying attention. He dropped another detail about his Batman movie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Batman spills the beans.
There's beans in the movie. Is that what you're saying? Batman actually spills.
There's beans in the movie. There's beans in the Batman movie. Batman spills them, which leads to Scarecrow coming after him.
Is that like a Kevin spilling the chili in The Office?
I was literally
That's exactly
gonna say.
what it's
So
like.
Batman is actually
That's
it's actually
exactly what it's
Kevin
like.
Malone from The Office, and he spills the beans. That's exactly
Yep.
what
See,
happens.
you thought you could pull a fast one on us and just kind of drop that quickly and move on, but I
You
caught
know
it.
the whole
I
plot.
caught that.
Damn it. God.
And that's where the janitor comes into play.
Right.
He comes in to clean up
You
the
gotta have
beans.
somebody clean them beans. That's right.
And there's so many beans, you need at least 3 of them.
Right.
Batman's true.
Unmute yourself.
Thank you. God, Chris, what are you doing this? Batman's the true meaning behind Dawn of Fear is he brings on this fear when he drops the beans.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And
Everyone's
he
like,
can't take it along because Robin's dead.
that's where the
Everyone's like,
fear
wow, this
comes in.
episode sucks.
So I do in a second. I'm taking control of this podcast now. I do want to talk about your career changes and stuff in a second. What you plan to do next? Because it's been a while since we talked about that. But first, we already asked Chris what about his movie, and I really want to hear about it. So, first of all, is it a feature? It's a feature, right?
Yeah, it's a feature.
Okay, let's hear it.
An experience, really, I'd say.
Ooh.
So I wrote this movie called really I have this idea, right? I have this idea for a movie. And the script is called Burger Bait. And it's about this guy who begins to live stream himself while he's working at Burger Bait, kind of a fast food restaurant in the South. And he begins to live stream himself on this platform called Weaver.live. And Weaver is a platform where you can only live stream yourself one time. So this is a platform that does not exist. It should exist, where people can only live stream themselves one time and then it disappears forever. You can never live stream again. And the idea behind it is that it will create better content.
I was gonna say incentivize people to create something worthwhile during that stream. That's
Exactly.
cool.
You cannot
Yeah.
follow people. No one has followers. Everyone has 0 followers, but you only get to hit that live button one time and you have one chance to sort of do your thing. You know,
Wow.
whatever you think is interesting enough to live stream, you're going to do it.
Now, I know this isn't a real thing, but how do you prevent somebody from coming up, like making another account and live streaming
yeah,
again?
I think that when you sign up, first of all, this isn't real, like you said.
Yeah, of course.
But I think
So
that
shut
you
the fuck up.
need to have some sort of security for when you do log in. You know, maybe you need like a driver's license to make an account, or
Okay.
maybe it's even
Social security.
you know, you need a phone number, and you only can, you know, then you can technically make more, but it's kind of difficult.
I gotcha.
I'm
You've
not
thought
worried
of
about it
everything.
being so foolproof. I'm just interested in the philosophical idea behind it. So that didn't work, Cody. I don't think it got you. I don't think that picked it up.
I unmuted it. Cock.
Okay. So even though that's a genius idea for a live streaming platform, that's not the main idea. But it says a lot about our main character, who he's working at Burger Bait. He's working the drive-through window, and this is what he feels is his one live stream. Like, this is the most interesting thing that's going to happen to him this week. Is just live streaming himself work at Burger Bait, the drive-through window. And if you know anything about live streaming, there's sort of a weird, dangerous side of it.
Yeah.
Especially for IRL live streamers, which stands for in real life live streamers. For example, like someone who's live streaming themselves, let's say with a selfie stick and a backpack walking into McDonald's, and they've got 3,000 viewers watching them. If people figure out which McDonald's he's in, they could call that McDonald's while he's in there and say, hey, that guy who just walked in with a selfie stick, he's got a bomb in his backpack.
And they get swatted.
And it creates and they're doing this completely anonymously. You can't really do a whole lot about this problem. They're starting to do more things about it, but it's still a very big problem. So then they get kicked out of McDonald's, and it's all for the viewers' entertainment. They're doing it purely for the entertainment of being able to watch this happen live. And I affected someone's life in real life through a computer.
And that's a pretty minor example.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you said that. So that's basically what he begins to deal with, is as his live stream unexpectedly begins to grow, it begins to get a little bit dangerous as they begin to figure out where he is. People begin to call the restaurant. People begin to maybe even show up to the restaurant. And by the end of the movie, he's just trying to keep his job, let alone get out of this alive. It gets kind of dangerous. So
I like it. That's cool.
And meanwhile, he's got this girl at the restaurant that he really likes, and he's got this manager that's sort of like a dictator who's just kind of a jerk to him, and he's dealing with all these crazy customers in the deep south who are just like going through the drive-thru at 1 a.m. It's a very contained movie. It was written and designed to be shot during a pandemic. So the second part of the idea is the distribution, and the way that works is I want to release this movie completely for free. I want to make this movie look as if it was a live stream, and people are just stumbling upon something that was live streamed a couple days ago, and they'll check it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop. This is all an idea, by the way.
Like a real Blair Witch Project kind of.
Yes, except to the
release,
next level and for the 20th century.
Yeah. Okay.
And
awesome.
for the internet kids like you and me, DJ.
That's awesome.
Yes, exactly.
So it's pretty much is going to be like found footage, but it's like pretty much could be like the equivalent of like a 90-minute live stream, just people just terrorizing this guy.
So
that's cool.
I'm going to drop a link on Reddit with a link to the VOD of the live stream that was recorded a couple days ago. And the title of the post is going to say, Burger Bait employee dies on live stream. Skip to minute 120 for death. Not safe for work. And people are going to click over to that link, and it's going to take them over to Weaver. And it's a video of this guy who's just live streaming himself. And some people are going to skip to the end. Some people aren't. And it's going to have chat scrolling down the side. It's going to have viewer count in there. It's going to have donations popping up, just as if you were watching a live stream that was recorded a couple of days ago. But the problem with that is that trying to make a feature film for free, because I can't, say, hey, rent this live stream for $3.99 that you just happen to stumble upon. That's a live stream. It's not a movie, but you have to rent it for $3.99. I have to have you click on it, and it immediately begins to play because it's a live stream. It's not a movie. The only way to do that is to have the movie fully funded up front. You can't have any investors looking to make their money on the back end because I'm releasing it for free. What are they going to do? Like, give me money for 50% of the movie that makes no profit on the back end? So the way that I was kind of trying to figure out how I could do something like that. And my first thought was investors. And then I realized no one's going to invest in that. And then I thought grants, I could go film grants and try and get some things from the government or nonprofits and just see what I can do. But that seems really boring and for smart people. And I don't know anything about that. So the third way I thought was a Kickstarter. Yeah. I don't know how much you guys know about Kickstarter, but it's a crowdfunding campaign. where people can support your project in return for like a digital download or a DVD or whatever it is. And I've never really been into Kickstarter. I think I don't know. I've never really been interested in making a Kickstarter for my projects. But I started thinking like, okay, if I did make a Kickstarter, what would it look like, and how would mine be different from everyone else's? I'm not interested in doing anything that people have done before. It seems it just doesn't seem very fun to me. So I started thinking about it more, and I think this is how I do it. I would make a Kickstarter, and I would treat my backers as if they were investors and producers as much as I can. So I'm not going to treat them like Kickstarter backers. I'm going to treat them like producers, as in you get this one tier and I'm going to send you the script before we even shoot for your notes and your thoughts about what you think about this character. Give me your story ideas. Give me your dialogue ideas. Give me menu items that you like. Give me all of your ideas. And now you're a producer on the movie. Mm-hmm. Another one is that I'm going to have someone on set. We're going to shoot for 10 nights. This is just an idea, by the way. We're going to shoot for 10 nights for 6 to 9 hours a piece. And I'm going to have someone on set live streaming the entire time. And you can have access to that live stream for $25. So you will be able to see every single take, every single acting moment, every single piece of improv. You get to see how a feature film is made from beginning to end. Not a documentary about how a movie was made, not a series about how a movie was made.
Yeah.
Literally 9 hours a night, you get to watch every single thing that happens. Nothing is edited out, completely uncensored. And you get to interact with us live. You can ask questions in the middle of a night shoot. You can, make suggestions to the lighting. You can say whatever you want, and you'll be able to interact with people on set making a movie. This is something that, if I was 16 and listening to this, I would pay all of the money that I ever made from mowing lawns ever to be able to see how a movie is actually made. Because growing up in a small town, you don't ever get to see that. You don't get anywhere close to that. You don't even get that in film school. So I'm going to live stream myself making this movie, and people can have access to that. Now, the third part of it, and to sort of to wrap it all up, is that to kind of bring it full circle, is that if I were to launch this project, Kickstarter campaigns go for 30 days. And if you don't make your money at the end of the 30 days, then you don't get anything. So what I would do is I would live stream myself for 12 hours a day for 30 days straight. And I would mention that in the Kickstarter video and say, look, if this campaign is live right now, I'm most likely live streaming myself, and you can come and ask me questions. You can come and talk to me about the project. I'm here for you 12 hours a day. And if you're on the fence about backing, if you're not really into it, I'm going to be pitching you this project for the next 30 days for 12 hours a day, just live streaming my life. And I think that, at the end of these 30 days, I'm no longer going to be live streaming for free. Only people who back the Kickstarter for at least $25 will be able to watch how the story concludes. How will this movie get made? Will this movie get made? Will I fail? You will, whether I succeed or not, you'll get to see me fail live, and you'll be able to make fun of me for it live and watch the whole thing unfold. So I think it's a project for the internet kids. I think it's for the indie film lovers. One of the most interesting parts to me is that this is something no one's ever done before. How does a live stream that's going not pretty much nonstop, how does that affect the mental health of someone trying to make a piece of art and release it to the world for free? What does that do to you? I mean, it's kind of what our main character in Burger Bait goes through, and he falls into that trap of actually caring what people on the internet think, and it is eventually his downfall, as told by the Reddit post. So I mean, I think it's a project that sort of comes full circle. I think it's a social experiment. I think it's an experience and not only a film. and I'm giving it to you all for free. So that's my idea.
That's pretty fucking badass. I mean, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's a matter of trying to do something that's different. I think a lot of people that make films is like, how do I do something that's different? How do I tell a story that's different? It's not just about telling a story. It's about, like you said, an experience. And I thought like Bandersnatch on Netflix was sick. You could choose the outcome of the story. I was like, this is fucking nuts. I mean, I know like it's been done before, but that was my first experience with it, and I was like, this is so cool. I've wanted more movies that are kind of like, you know, Telltale Games or Life is Strange, where you make the decisions. And I like that this kind of has that similar feel, but it's something completely different. It's a live stream, but it's also like a movie. But it's also like an experience. It's weird. It's like you can't nail it down to a specific genre. You can't categorize it, which I love. It makes it unique.
And this project will be live at burgerbay.com. September 1st is when I'll be launching this. So this is an actual thing that I'm launching on September 1st, and I'll be live streaming myself in September and shooting in October. So
are you going to live stream on the website?
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay, cool.
But I just talked to one of my producers, and I mean, this live streaming idea is something that apparently a lot of people are interested in actually doing. So, you know, maybe there's a stretch goal somewhere along the way of like, if we make this much, we actually make the live streaming platform Weaver, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So, how much, so have you written this entire script already? Or are you like on like a first draft or a second draft or?
Yeah, so the script is done. I'm on draft 3. I'm doing another rewrite before I release the script to the Kickstarter backers at the end of September. But I mean, all the feedback I've gotten on it has been really, really good. Otherwise, it would just be a gimmick. If the script isn't good and the movie isn't good, then this whole thing is just a gimmick. Like, none of it matters. Right. And what, like, live streaming a crappy movie like for free, like, what's the point? Yeah. So the movie has to be good at the end of the day. Right. And the feedback I've gotten on it has been even better than I expected. I honestly never even expected to make this movie. I was just writing it sort of to make something. I thought it was a cool idea. Yeah. You know, starting with this guy is live streaming himself work at the drive-through. Like, how do you make that interesting? And that's my biggest, everyone who's read it, that's been their biggest surprise. Is like, dude, I couldn't put this down and I don't know why. You know, it's a very ADD film. It's very like layered. There's a lot of subtext going on. There's things overlapping. There's a lot going on because
I know. Yeah.
The actor is stuck at a drive-through window. You have no room to play. This is going to look like it's one take all the way through.
I was going to ask about that. How are you going to try to go full 1917 with this and make it look like it's a whole one shot the whole time?
Yeah, it looks like it's one live stream because if he turns it off, it's gone forever and he can never live stream again.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to have him drop his phone a lot for scene cuts?
He does drop his phone a couple times. I'm going to use video lag to hide some cuts.
Smart.
Yeah.
Some whip pans, stuff like that. But I mean, you're going to see how a Burger Bay employee dies on live stream.
Whoa.
How would you...
Spoilers, dude. Come on. All right.
You can skip to the end.
No, I'm just kidding.
How would you classify... Are you classifying it as like a thriller or a horror or psychological or comedy?
Experimental.
Experimental? That's awesome.
Experimental documentary, because it's a very real thing, I think.
So where are you going to be filming this? Like, do you have like a restaurant like that you know you're going to have access to and stuff, or?
Yeah, Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay. Oh, you gave it away.
Oh, that's what we talked about that earlier on the phone. Okay, dude, that's kick ass, man. How's casting going? Have you cast your lead already, or how are things going there?
So I want to cast all of the minor characters. So outside of the 2 leads, which is a guy and a girl,
right? I'm
going to cast in South Carolina so that I don't have to house them and I don't have to pay for lodging.
Right.
And then my 2 leads, I'm willing to fly. And we're talking about the $15,000 budget. That's what the Kickstarter
I was going to
set
ask.
at.
Okay, cool.
So we're talking about $15K is the bare minimum I can make this movie for. There are other versions of this movie that can be shot for higher budgets. But we're talking about.
It's funny you say that you're hiring people from South Carolina. Cody like just told me like right before the start that he was moving to South Carolina.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, bro,
you have one lead right here. Cody wants to be in the movie. You got to make him your lead. Come on.
I'm sure you have a janitor at that fast food place.
Yeah.
I pitched him the movie, and 5 minutes later, he was like, "I'm moving to South Carolina." All right, dude.
Anderson? I'm going there. Oh, coincidence. Right. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, good to see you, bud. Can I be in your movie? Yeah. I dig it.
Wow.
But I'm in the process of making, or I'm in the process of auditioning and doing some stuff like that. But there's some bigger actors that I want to approach. But I want to see some promise and some success with the Kickstarter before I approach them, because I feel like I only got one shot. So I'm gonna try and time it at the right time. But I'm willing to fly out and house the 2 main actors. So, I mean, if you're interested in auditioning, you can email me. Go to fosterkidfilms.com and you can email me, and I could possibly cast you in the movie and pay you. So,
I was
I'm
gonna say.
nominate
What you say, Cody? I didn't hear you.
I'm gonna nominate my brother for the lead. DJ, what do you think? You can do it.
Is your brother an actor?
My brother,
he's more of a janitor too.
Yeah.
Slightly better than Cody.
Yeah.
No. I think all jokes aside, that is funny. Yeah, he would be way better than me. He'd be like a janitor like plus
Janitor
8.
1. Okay.
No, he would. Yeah, he would be. No, my brother could easily do it. I mean, I'm not gonna just be on like the whole bias ring. He's my brother. I think he really could. He could even pull out even a little Southern twang, South Carolina style. I think he could do it.
Yeah. My dad has that.
So I'm gonna.
My dad.
Does he actually?
Yeah, he does.
You never met your dad.
He talks like that. Yeah. It's like.
Hi, I'm Mr. Ryle. This is my son Corbin.
Like,
yeah, he's
hey,
cool.
son, how are you?
Batman flicks. You know how we do it down here now.
That's literally how he talks. Whenever I mimic him,
You know
my mom goes, "He doesn't sound like that." I'm like, "Yes, he does." He'll come up and go, "Hey, watched your wedding video you made. Best wedding video I've ever seen." I went, "Dad, you don't watch wedding videos. It's probably only the one you've seen." It's son, you did a good job. You should be proud. I showed my mother and she liked it. I was like, he's great. He's the best.
I gotta meet this hunk of a man, Mr. Ryle.
He's the best, dude. He's the best.
We're gonna set this up, you know.
I'll send this to my dad. He'll be his biggest fan. So how do you go about figuring out the budget for a film like this? Like, how do you allocate, like, all right, I'm going to do this percentage for the actors, this percentage for food, this percentage to like, to, you know, for props and stuff. How do you figure that out?
Well, it's a combination of just shooting other stuff. So like, you know, I shot 2 narrative feature films and 1 documentary. So I have experience from budgeting that. And then I also have experience budgeting on larger movies, you know, like 6-figure movies that I would produce. And after you kind of look at both sides of the spectrum, you kind of realize, like, I mean, also after you make a movie for 2,000, it's like, I can make a movie for 15, you know, I could make a movie for $100 probably, you know? So it's really about using what you have. So when I wrote the script and I was like, all right, I can shoot this during a pandemic. I can shoot this for pretty much nothing. All I need is a restaurant, and that's pretty much it. And we got the restaurant for free. Like, he's letting us use it for free. We know the guy. So I don't know. You figure out what you need to pay for, like lodging and paying key crew members and any props that you need. You just kind of go through the script and figure it all out. And then you figure out, like, that's how I made the Kickstarter budget, is like, what's the least amount of money that I could possibly shoot this for? And I eventually landed at 15,000. I was like, if we make 15,000 from this Kickstarter, I can make this movie from beginning to end, no problem. So yeah, it's just like going through the script and figuring out what you need, cutting what you don't need. And my experience from shooting a movie for 2000 has made it so that I can make, you know, a shoestring budget stretch over the course of a feature film.
Mm-hmm. So where for your film would a lot, if you got the two leads, first of all, can you say who the two leads you would want are? Like, you don't want to give false hope, or like?
I think Tom Cruise is busy.
Well, you guys won't have heard of these people if I say their names. They're still small, very small time actors, but people who I see being big in the future. And when I say small time, I mean like you've never seen any movie with these people in them.
Oh, really?
But you know, maybe I've seen like something, a short film with them in it, or maybe I've seen a feature film with them in it. And, you know, I have a list of priority of like, this would be my first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth pick. And beyond that, I have people who I just think have a great look that I've sent them audition sides to where they can send in a video audition and they could make it over number one, you know? So it's very up in the air right now, but I want to see how the Kickstarter begins to go. And I want to show the casting process on my live stream in September. So there's a couple different moving parts that I'm not ready to settle on yet.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Star Wars theorist on YouTube?
Star Wars theorist? No, tell me.
Yeah, so I haven't watched his stuff in a while. He has, I believe, the largest Star Wars based channel. Yeah. And he made a 20-minute long fan film about Star Wars. And he kind of made his channel very involved in the process, right? So like when he was it's very, 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 very well done. Like it's very high quality, you know, that it cost well more than your 15,000 for 20 minutes. Cause it's like, it was really nicely done. And he did it all for free. He didn't want to make any money off it. It was just a pure, you know, love of the
craft, yeah,
Star Wars.
Story, yeah.
Love of the IP. Like he loves Star Wars so much, he just wanted to make his own vision of it and give it to people. And he had his channel very involved in like the casting and all that. So he put out like the open call, and he said, you know, these are the 15 roles that I need. These are the requirements for each role. I'm looking for a male this tall, able to do backflips for the Jedi role, whatever it is. And then he had people send in their audition tapes, and then him and his director would go through and pick like the top, 50. And then he did a whole video showing clips of each single one of theirs, and would do cutouts, you know, where he would go, okay, you know, comment down below on who your favorite is, and then, or, you know, a poll or whatever. And then he would go through and he would start, have, you know, levels. So like, you know, 5 people out of the first 20 made it. And then he did a second call, and then he had him send him a new video. And then they went through another thing on YouTube where they had the people, you know, put their votes up again. And that's pretty much how he casted his movie. And then he had people involved in, you know, showing them, oh, this is where the setting is going to be. Right now, it just looks like a church in Germany or whatever. But after we're done, it's going to look like a Star Wars planet, you know. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool to like kind of follow him throughout that process. And someone who doesn't know anything about making a movie had a lot of insight just by watching these 20-minute videos on how hard it is to make a video with that much detail and that level.
Yeah. That's badass.
That's exactly what I'm going for. I'm going to show the whole process. I want to show you exactly how to make a film and show you that people can do it. Like there's no barrier to entry. Like anyone can do this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Right. It's like anyone can make a movie. It's just a matter of like, do you want to, first of all? Second of all, do you have the drive to just get it done? Because it can take a while, like especially with COVID pushing everything back. I'm like, God, I want to like finish this project, and then I have an idea for this one. It's like I have like, I'm sure Chris is the same way. I got like 5 or 6 ideas running in my head constantly for different types of movies. It's like I'm literally like, it's just like, you know, I heard this on another I think podcast recently or something. It was like, the curse of living with an artist, like especially with Kristen living with me, is that the curse of living with an artist or somebody with a creative mind is that they're constantly daydreaming about shit. Like she's constantly like, hey, dumbass, like constantly got to bring me back to reality because I'm just constantly like in my head in the clouds. It's not that I don't care about like what's going on in the present moment. I'm just constantly like, oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, I could do it this way, or oh, I could change the script this way, and like, yeah, it's just being creative mind. But yeah, anyone can do it. It just takes a lot of work. And I think what that guy did, and I think what Chris is doing, is a great way to incentivize, because you can hype it up on social media. Like I've shared some of my stuff about Batman. That's one thing. Everyone does that. But it's another thing to get your followers and fans directly involved. Then it gives them like they're really going to give a shit. They want this movie to succeed. And then they're going to want to share it to more people. It has a better chance of going viral and getting more eyes on it, because the people who are backing it, the people who are watching your YouTube videos and live streams are as invested as you, which is great.
And on top of that, it's free.
And it's free.
So
yeah.
There's no barrier to entry. Anyone's friend or family can click a button and the movie will start playing and they can watch it. There's no barrier to entry. Anyone can watch this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm funding it so that you don't need to have any money made on the back end. This is the way to release movies, because our generation, the internet generation, doesn't want to pay for movies. That's why they have Netflix.
Yep.
That's why they have, streaming platforms. They don't want to pay for movies. And basically what I'm doing is I'm tricking people to pay for a free movie.
Yeah.
They're paying to watch a free movie.
That's kind of how it is with Netflix. Yeah.
So much. I'm giving them everything I have. I'm giving them 360 hours of my time in September. I'm giving them showing them exactly how to make a movie. I'm bringing them into the process of making the movie. I'm giving them everything I can possibly give them and making it a collaborative experience to make this movie together.
Yeah.
It's never been done before.
I wanna. Papa Krabs gets a job. I'll back it. How's that sound, homeboy? Let's do. I mean, I like it. I think it sounds sick. I really want to see this movie. You got me.
What does Corbin get for being in the $2 tier?
A pat on the back.
There's no $2 tier. Actually, there's a tier if you put in anything under $5, or if you put in anything under $10, you get nothing. So if you want to do that, it's cool.
Let me give you
25 minimum, and you get to see all the live streams after September. So if you can save up $25, maybe I'll sneak you a secret link for free. But
we'll see. We'll see. Yeah,
I don't want to say that on this podcast or anything. So we'll see.
No special treatment. But Cody's going in the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going in this movie.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it all day. Fuck January 3. I'm being in this shit.
Right.
Can I be a guy to the window, drives in the window to the drive-through?
I think you actually could put him in the movie as a cameo.
Dude, I've told him he can be on set.
He wants me to be on set.
You're not in front of that camera.
I told him he could be on set in the back.
He pulls you aside. You could be on set
as far away as possible
in front of that fucking lens. You're done.
I'm gonna end up being the guy who's doing the live recording all 8 damn hours for 10 days straight, and that's the closest thing I'm gonna get to being here we are again. Yeah, Chris movie. Yeah, I'm the one I'm not in. Thank you. And back to you, Chris.
I was supposed to be the star. Can you believe this, Dick? All right, back to you. Yeah.
See that guy over there? Now that was me.
But not only will this podcast go up on your YouTube channel, but also we made a separate video of me talking about this project. And I'll be, it'll be one of the main videos around this project. So, a lot of traffic will be driven to this video for people who want to learn more about Burger Bait. So, nice. I mean, you're already pretty involved, and I just pitched you the project today. So,
is Cody in that video too?
He is in that video. Yeah,
yes.
I'm basically just pitching him the project, and he's reacting to it. So,
Cody,
take it.
The shirt you're wearing right now, we need to remake it, and the van is driving up to
Burger Bait
to the drive-through window.
Collab.
Dude, DJ, you just figure out our fall edition shirt right there. Oh my god, can we actually do that? Seriously?
We'll reach out to our shirt person.
We'll talk about it off the podcast about percentages and IP, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
You could do that as a $50 tier for your movie. have a bus travel. You could make an official
Yeah, man.
We'll official Burger Bait shirt, a branded shirt.
Yeah, we'll charge me and Cody will charge $45 for the shirt, and we'll keep 40, and we'll donate 5. Well, no, we'll keep 35. We'll give you 10 so we can be a part of your thing.
Well, that's just it. It's funny you say that because the motherfucker won't let me be a backer. He's like, he won't let me be a backer. He's like, you'll give me all my money. I just want you to be on set. But meanwhile, I'm gonna be fucking janitor 3 still, and listening to the live streamers. So.
All right, if we're struggling for the 15K, see what I think will happen with this project is that either we will fail flat on my face, like it'll be like a massive crash and burn failure, barely raise any money, barely anyone will be interested. I think that's one scenario, and I think the other scenario is it's massively popular, massively successful. People get excited about it. I don't think there's a whole lot in between. But if there isn't in between and we can't raise that 15K, I will gladly take your reward, your backer. But I'd love to get, you were talking about how you can get your friends involved, your friends excited about it. I much prefer that. And then if we raise enough money, any money over the 15K at first will just go to paying more people to be on set. So it's not going to ridiculous stuff. I can make this movie for 15K, so it'll go into hiring people who I want on set, and that means a lot to me. I want to surround myself with people who I really like. So
yeah.
So in a couple months' time, Cody can be in the back corner.
That's right.
He can be in the parking lot.
No, I'm driving up to the window, nerd.
In a couple months' time, this podcast can either be amazing or it could be completely pointless.
That means we like literally dropped Chris' movie and Rhea Corbin. So
I have not explained this project publicly to anyone.
First exclusive here on Traveling Techers. Or sorry, City Logic. Excuse me. Traveling Techers.
It's okay.
Channel.
It's okay.
Excuse me.
Just don't ever do that again.
I won't. We're not asking you back for a third time. Yeah. Yeah, I think the idea is great. I don't want to.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
I want to read that fucking script, but I'm not gonna. Look, I'll back it if I have to. But
as far as elevator pitches go, it's a little long, but it was pretty amazing. Like if we were on like the Eiffel Tower,
we'd be good.
Going way up. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, I would be sold by halfway up probably.
Yeah.
That's the long version of the explanation. The pitch, I did a Kickstarter video. The pitch that I did in the Kickstarter video was like 3 minutes. And it's really difficult to pitch that entire idea in 3 minutes. I think I probably missed some stuff, but I mean, look, I'm going to be live for 360 hours in September. So
yeah, you get plenty of time to pimp it out there. I've heard somebody say before, like with like your Kickstarters or something, you have to get your point across in like the first 90 seconds or people are going to click away or something like that. So, which is, I can believe
Is there a community on Kickstarter of people who just like spend their time on Kickstarter as if it's like Twitter? They just kind of cycle through new things popping up, and
there's
like, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, there's a community on Kickstarter of people who are searching for projects maybe on a weekly or maybe even daily basis. I don't know, who just want to support artists or are just like intrigued by certain ideas. There's like all types of stuff on Kickstarter. There's technology inventions, there's clothing, there's all types of stuff. So
I know the gaming Kickstarter community is pretty big.
Yeah, gaming's huge on Kickstarter.
Yeah, so there's definitely people who will do that. There's people who will invest $10,000 into a short film to get their name as an executive producer. So there's definitely people who are interested in just like supporting art and supporting ideas that they think is cool. But my target audience is really like indie film lovers, upcoming filmmakers, live streaming enthusiasts, and people who are interested in that space. Just kind of those niches is I think what would be most interesting.
Have you ever live streamed before?
Yeah, so I live streamed a couple times while I was making Tethered. I live streamed on Periscope, and it was more successful than I thought it was going to be. At one point I think we got like a couple hundred concurrent viewers. So
wow.
That's really my only experience live streaming. Outside of that, not a whole lot. So September is going to be sort of like a just getting thrown into the deep end of just figuring it out in 30 days. And it's probably going to suck at first, and then I'm going to hopefully figure it out by the end of it. But I don't know. I think I'm a pretty weird guy. I think people might be interested in just seeing if this thing fails or not,
I hope it doesn't. I mean, that's I love the idea. God, what was I going to say? So have you has the website been made already? What was it, Weaver?
Yeah, Weaver is made. You can go to weaver.live right now if you wanted to.
Okay.
But burgerbait.com is I'm still messing with some DNS settings, some like back end stuff to get it all perfect. But hopefully by the time this podcast goes up, it'll be ready to go. But yeah, burgerbait.com will take you to a place where you can put your email in so that you are updated on the project, and then you'll go to the Kickstarter. And then I also have an offer where you can become a virtual producer, where you actually become a producer on the project and can, say, hey, I have access to this actor, I have access to this business, and maybe we can help the project out. So I have forums for people who want to be more involved with the project, for them to fill that out and come onto the project as a virtual producer is what we're calling it.
Nice. That's cool. How do you go about doing your casting calls? Like, how do you send those out?
So my guy in South Carolina is handling all the minor casting right now, as well as the two leads, to see if we can get anyone there. I have another producer in Virginia. Well, I have Spencer, actually. Spencer, who shot Cody's movie over here. He is a producer on Burger Bait, and he's helping out with casting, especially. He's got a list of people. So right now it's just individuals reaching out to individuals who they think would be good fits. I'm going to step in and start casting, especially for the two main leads. Once the Kickstarter gets started, I'm going to start reaching out to people directly. And I mean, if we have trouble there, then I would start going to casting sites, like Actors Access, like, sites like that where you can cast any film really, and anything that's paid right now should go straight to the top and get casted pretty quickly. So I'm not too worried about casting.
For those people, from some of those, like, I mean, they're not like huge, like higher tier actors, because you said like we probably wouldn't know them. But for the actors that you want in this movie, would you reach out to their like agents through IMDb Pro or something? Like, how do you get in contact with them directly?
So you can get any actor in pretty much any movie by reaching out to you just need a ton of money. Like, you reach out to their agent on IMDb Pro, like you're saying.
Yep.
You have to be careful. You need to have a company that you're coming from. You need to have like your stuff down. You need to come off professional, because if you don't, you could get blacklisted from the industry. If let's say you have a movie that you're looking to cast, and then you want to cast Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise, you send the script out to both of them and they both accept, and now you have to give the role to one of them. You're going to get blacklisted from the industry. You're never going to be able to cast anyone like that ever again. So you need to be professional about what you're doing, but you call them up and say, hey, what's your week rate? What's your day rate? Whatever, how long you're looking to cast them for. But I mean, if I've got $20 million, I can cast Tom Hanks from this chair right here,
Yeah.
That I'm not doing that. I'm going to try not to reach out to any agents. I'd rather reach out directly to the actors and actresses. Plus, these are smaller actors and actresses. So I'm going to reach out directly to them and see if they'd be interested in something like this. And hopefully with the success of the Kickstarter, they'll see that, this has some promise. And the actors and actresses that are involved in this project have a lot of power. This is a weird project. You're on camera the entire time. It looks like one take. You're going to be controlling the camera yourself at sometimes. So this is an intriguing project for an actor's actor, an actor who just loves acting, wants to do weird stuff. I think it's an intriguing offer.
Have you looked into like actual live streamers to fill that role? Did that ever cross your mind, or is that kind of?
I have thought about that. Honestly, I'm open to casting first-time actors, but
Cody's heart just fluttered a little bit.
Yeah, including live streamers. So I haven't looked into reaching out specifically to live streamers to act in it, but I have been reaching out to live streamers to be involved in the project in a certain way.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Because the community. I respect the community. I respect live streamers. I think that they are the next wave of entertainment. I think in 5 to 10 years, people are going to be live streaming themselves 24/7. So I respect the medium, and I want to, make a piece of art that respects what they do and shows the dark side of it and shows the light side of it and shows you an interesting take on the profession and the industry.
It's funny that you mentioned that about that whole idea of like the dark side of it and stuff like that, because there was something that happened like a month, I think it was like last month. So it was either Sony or PlayStation released, I don't know if it's in an interactive movie. You can find the trailer on YouTube. The actual like PlayStation or Sony, I think it was Sony that uploaded the trailer. I think they actually pulled it down now because it got so much hate. There was a movie that they hyped up. You know what I'm talking about? Called Gamer Girl or whatever.
course I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, and it's like showing the dark side of like this girl getting like hunted down and like doxxed and shit on the internet, and I think the entire thing is kind of like it's like a found footage or whatever, and it's like people were laughing at it and making fun of it, so they just pulled the trailer down. So I don't know what the future of that movie is going to be. But yeah, I definitely think it's interesting to touch upon that, because I hear stories all the time. Because I mean, I live stream myself on Twitch, and I also.
What's your Twitch name?
It's Corbino, just one word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I stream video games like a big dork on there. But yeah, I stream like a
Shout
couple times a
out.
week. Yeah, that's right. So like I'll stream on there and stuff some, but I don't have to worry about it, especially being a man. But like it's so terrifying to be, especially a woman, live streaming, because it's like people will come after you. You have stalkers. You have people like doxing your shit. You have people swatting. Like swatting is like people have died from swatting before. It is terrible. And
What's swatting?
I was gonna say swatting is, for those of you guys that don't know, like this dummy. I'm just kidding. Swatting is basically when you call in a bomb threat or something that requires, or a hostage situation that requires a SWAT team. You find out where the streamer lives. You say, you either pretend to be them and say, I'm holding my family hostage. My name is so-and-so, so-and-so. I'm at this address. And then they have an entire SWAT team come to that house of the streamer. It's basically like a prank, but except you're spending taxpayer money and possibly putting lives at risk, because the SWAT team thinks it's a hostage or bomb situation. They got to break down your door and possibly kill you. And people have died during swatting before. It's happened, and it's terrible. So there's definitely a dark side that Chris can definitely touch in that movie, and I think it would be really interesting to see where that goes.
I think that you would. I think Corbin. I think you'd. If you read the script, I think you'd really be interested with the chat that I've written into the movie.
I want to see
think
how
you
you've
would
laid
find
that
it
out.
accurate.
I want to see how you've gone about writing in a chat into a script. Like it's.
Isn't that when you see that on the promo that you're gonna put on the Kickstarter?
Yeah, in the video on the Kickstarter, I have chat scrolling down. I have like viewers in the bottom corner in the Kickstarter trailer video.
Oh really?
But yeah, I think that you'd be interested in how accurate the chat is in the script. I just wrote it as if it was a character, because it is. It's a character in the movie. It's funny because the chat is a character, which actually consists of thousands of people, and the customer is a character. And they're all in the script. They're all the same. You know, they're acted as if there were one character. The customers were one character, and the chat was one character. And I think both of those are super interesting. And what's great about it is that you can change both of those things in post. You can change what the customers say and what the customers do in post completely, and the same as the chat. Those are two very main central characters of the entire story, and you can do anything in post of what you want the chat to say, of what you want the customers to say. So you have a lot of wiggle room to change the story in editing, which I think is really going to be fun.
Yeah, that's wild. It's, I don't know, because like that stuff. The thing about I mean, because like I would even consider this almost like a horror film. I know you said it's experimental, but the thing about horror that freaks me out, like, is like I'm not afraid of like the supernatural and stuff as much. Like I'm not saying supernatural stuff can't freak me out. Hereditary was creepy as fuck, but like I'm not as afraid of supernatural because I don't think it's real personally. If you do, that's fine. But for me personally, I don't believe in that stuff. The shit that creeps me out is stuff that is real, that can happen to any of us. Like what happens in your movie could happen theoretically to any of us. Even if we're not live streaming, people can stalk you, people can come to your place of work, and people can hurt you. Like,
yeah,
I loved, I don't know if you guys saw Hush on Netflix, Mike Flanagan's movie. He did Haunting of Hill House. Fantastic fucking movie. His wife is an amazing actress. And the thing that scares me about that movie is that shit is real. That can really happen. And that's what's going to be terrifying about that movie. It's like it's how, you know how Jaws kind of like was an experience. Everyone was like, I'm fucking scared to go in the water now. Burger Bait's gonna be like, I'm scared to fucking live stream now because somebody's gonna come after me. That's what's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be wild. You're gonna scare all.
I have to pee really bad.
Go ahead.
I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. We won't let it happen again though. If it does, you're out. I'm taking control of this podcast. I tell you guys.
No, it's okay, dude. I really hope me and Cody are invited back on to Corbin and Chris's podcast. I'm having a blast. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you guys here. This is our This is our show now. So,
well, it's like me and Chris were talking about today. Like, Chris claims he doesn't like to talk about himself. I'm like, well, then why do you like a podcast? Because that's the whole point. Like, as a guest, you're supposed to brag about yourself, talk about yourself, promote yourself. Because we were kind of like bombing on Joe Rogan a little bit. Was it last night? Because like he is very popular or big into bringing people on, letting him talk, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, like your Graham Hancocks and the Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I mean, DJ talk about all the time with the vitamin C and like people like that. But there's some that he almost just like takes over. I'm like, hey, buddy, yeah, I want to hear your guests, not you. Because like that's the whole point. And in the day, I'm like, I feel like sometimes we kind of get that miscued judgment. So I was like, nah, dude. When you're on as a guest, I want you to be the star of the show.
Right.
And I think I also got Bert Kreischer's because he like doesn't talk. Like he'll, other than like a question or like quick input, he lets the other person talk 98% of the time, which I think is sweet because that's the whole point. You're more or less just hosting and just giving a presence.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
the questions you're asking. The questions you're asking Chris are way better than the questions I could have thought of.
Step it up.
You're coming at it from like you're coming at it from like a movie mind. You know what I mean? So like when you're asking like how you go about funding and all that, like that's something I wouldn't have thought about, but it's very interesting.
Well, because he is at a I guess it's not always like, oh, this person is higher up than me. Like I try not to think of it and I try not to compare myself to people because one of the worst things you can do as an artist or as a filmmaker is try to compare yourself to others. And I am very critical of myself and it's very hard for me not to compare myself because there's so many other filmmakers that I know where I'm like, this person did so much better than me, or I couldn't do what this person did, or, like I'm nothing compared to that person. But like, yeah, I like hearing the stories and insights from people who are in the industry trying to do exactly what I am. And I would definitely say, like, objectively, Chris is further along in his filmmaker journey than I am because he's pretty much doing it kind of for a living right now. I haven't asked him if he's doing anything else on the side, like a side hustle to make money. As far as I know, he's just doing filmmaking, right?
Pretty much, like creative design, but for the most part, yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's fantastic because that's what I want to be doing. I don't want to do a day job. I don't want to work like part-time jobs and shit like that. I want to be doing this shit. I want to be making movies for a living.
Maybe this is like all blessing in disguise, like currently.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
It could.
Like, you never know.
Yeah, and somebody said that too on my Facebook post where I was whining about how I don't have a job anymore. Somebody was saying like this could be a blessing in disguise. This could be another opportunity opening up, and that very well could be the case. I have no idea. We'll see what happens. But I did. You said something earlier about career changes with you, and I know we just talked about how like, oh, let's not talk about the host the whole time. But I do want to know like what's going on with you in terms of your career changes and like. What other films are you interested in making? Like, what's going on with you?
So, DJ probably knows a shit ton about this and probably tired of hearing me talk
I know
about
you got a new camera.
Yeah,
I did. The Sony A7 II. All right, fine.
I heard you're trying to
lens. I mean, everything. I got the 60x35. The okay, twins in this B. Let's go.
This is A7 III, but yeah.
Oh, big flex. All right, I'm sorry. I'm on your level. But
no, it doesn't matter. The camera doesn't matter. It's who's behind. It's who's behind it.
That's beautiful. Sounds like we need to do some more collabs then.
That's right.
Well, anyways, what we do. But yeah, no. DJ knows the most about this, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet, so I don't go too crazy into it. But like,
since I already know, I'm gonna go to the bathroom too.
All right, go ahead, dude. So essentially. I've already kind of had this like presumption in my mind, like, there's more to Cody Carew than his life. And all right, maybe I'll tell this to Chris too. But I think it's like seeing Chris and you being able to do this on the side, like not to be funny, but like has constantly inspired me just to do this silly YouTube stuff that me and DJ do. because it is true. Like, you got your degree in biology. Chris was going to go to, school for filmmaking, but he kind of took it upon his own to, almost be self-taught and just the practice and repetition through his silly little YouTube videos. But that's just it all meant for something. For me, I have a degree in history and criminal justice. I mean, yeah, you can do just about anything, but in the end of the day, I always knew there was something more than that. And I think just between my creative mind and learning so much from Chris and seeing the passion, seeing your passion, and I just know deep down there's more than I can offer. And unfortunately, with my job, between lack of time off, the crazy inconsistent scheduling, the inconsistent state of mind I'm in, especially in terms of like stress. That's why I go to the gym every day. Like, some people are like, oh, dude, you're a gym rat. I mean, yeah, maybe, but I was an athlete because that was my stress reliever. Like, I enjoyed it. I guess I was pretty good. It was a good stress reliever. Now I go to the gym, but like, that's just it. I know it's not just, there's more out there. So that's why I've taken upon myself to get new cameras and have this hobby. And I enjoy doing it. I enjoy entertaining people, especially through the podcast. You guys, like, I live for this. I drove 15 hours technically to come down with Chris for a day and a half, 2 days, just to hang out, shoot silly content. Like, that's what I'm here for. I will get up and do it tomorrow again if I had to. So essentially, I'm still trying to figure it out. I've got a couple options on the table. I don't want to go into like crazy detail, just like the whole mentality of like, don't talk about it and jinx it kind of thing. But definitely have a couple options. And if one of those surfaces, because I know obviously like COVID freezes for hiring applies to some of these businesses. But regardless, if something were to happen to where I'm not able to take, the state that I'm in my current employment, then I will leave and I'll go on like a sabbatical, and I will just like link up with you guys and just work on, trying to finishing, mine and Chris's project, or helping you, Corbin, with Batman, or seriously, I will freaking help in any way your other film. Or when I go down to South Carolina with Chris, I plan on doing that anyways. But something just to go like kind of follow more like this dream. But I think at the end of the day, and not like, once again, not to be all savvy, but seeing you guys do, with your job and Chris being fully invested like that's been an inspiration to me, because it gives me something to forward to. Obviously people in my employment, they revert to other ways of stress relieving, like being freight train smokers to alcoholism, and even worse of. And I obviously I'm surrounding myself by good company with y'all, and it's been awesome.
Bye, Cody.
Bye, Cody. Where'd he go?
Good timing. Chris, where'd he go?
He kicked him out. You're muted, by the way, Chris.
That side of the podcast is really struggling right now.
What's going on, dude? I'm all the way over here. What do you think I did?
I love surrounding myself
Does computer die?
He just dips out.
Is it Wi-Fi? Are you on the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
What happened? Welcome back.
That was weird.
All right, that was super weird.
So the last thing you said was, I'm surrounding myself with good people. You were singing our praises. What was after that?
More compliments.
All right, sorry. So surrounding myself by good people and having like the inspiration by, seeing your Walking Dead and your music videos. I love that, because that's why and I joked about it all last night and today with Chris's friend Carly. I'm like, dude, I'm your biggest hype man. DJ can attest for this. I talk about him all the freaking time.
Yeah.
But it's not because like I'm brown nose and shit. He's one of my best buds. Like, I'm passionate about his activity and his work. Oh, look, he blushing over there. And
look at that sweet boy.
Being a part of that is an awesome experience for me, because I just like I like being a part of that, because it's good energy. It's good for the mental health. And I want to be able to help. I want to be able to do that myself. So essentially, I don't feel like I've plateaued where I'm at, but then again, I do. There's no self-growth. And when I see no self-growth, I'm not challenged. And when I'm not challenged, then I don't want to even do my own stuff, like do YouTube with DJ. I do, but sometimes I'm like, I really don't feel like editing today. 3 days later, video's supposed to drop, and DJ asks me, hey, bro, where's the video? Like, there's days that happens.
I say that from my couch without doing anything at all. It's very easy.
Step it up, dog. It's your turn. Your turn to edit. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
I run the Twitter page, which tweets once every 3 months.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
He schedules it ready to go for 3 months from now, and he's like, and schedule fuck. My job is done.
That's a
I know
lot.
Chills.
Warzone for the next 3 months.
Yeah. No,
But,
I
yeah, no,
I
I'll
get
just.
it.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I totally get it. Surrounding yourself with other creative people and seeing other people passionate about what they're working on, especially like for me, other filmmakers, seeing what they're passionate about, it just fuels my fire. Because sometimes I get really down. I'm like, this is never gonna matter. I'm never gonna go anywhere. COVID's never gonna end. Like I go through a lot of waves of like being like super negative. Like this is never gonna get better. And like and then other times I like talking to you guys right now, and then like talking to other filmmakers and seeing videos about how people make their films and stuff like that. Like I just watched an entire like making a video. There's a group of guys out in the UK who made an entire movie called Cosmos on $7,000. It's about these 3 guys that are they're kind of like these stargazers, astronomer guys, and they just do it as a hobby, and they make first contact with aliens. So it's like a really cool concept for a movie that they only made for $7,000. They distributed it themselves. It had a limited theater run, and it's on like Prime and everything now. But it's like they had like an entire story about how that movie meant so much to them, and like how their dad died like a month before filming it and everything. It was just like the whole journey of their passion of making that movie. And it just kind of does fuel that fire, like of one
100%. And like
artist.
2 years ago, before I got my current job, around this, actually 3 days from now will be like the 2-year anniversary when we embarked on that trip to film for 15 days with my brother, Spencer Henry. And that whole like 2 months before, Chris and I like brought it up as a joke, like, hey dude, we should do a project together that we used to talk about in middle school. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm trying to go to this job. I'm working like another job right now, just graduated.
Yeah.
And for like a 48-hour period, that's all I could think about. I'm like, why am I not doing it? And I thought about his documentary. It's a shameless plugging the shit out of your work right now. I thought, like, why not? Why not go after it? Why not do it? So I drafted a plan, talked to my brother. We found Henry and Spencer kind of last minute because the other connection fell through, and we did it. $1,500, 15 days, 4 guys, went across the country, filmed a hell of a time, 13 hours plus footage, and hoping to maybe potentially get you on here for the editor.
Yes.
That to me is some of the biggest inspiration, but deep down, it wouldn't have been without him and like you, because I got that passion from you guys, especially in this, because I just like to give someone entertainment, let alone something I'm passionate about at the same time. And seeing that through y'all, it's great. It's great. And I think that's where that's also coming from. Because I also, like DJ says all the time, inspirational bullshit. It's true. Yeah, I do have that bit on my body. But then again, I also like to have fun. So let's just incorporate all that together. Boom. You can easily do it through film. So especially working with y'all. So
it can't, filming and making movies definitely can be fun. I've heard some people before, like I follow like, James Gunn and stuff, and I like getting insights from him because he's one of the more interactive like filmmakers on social media. And he said before, like, I wouldn't describe filmmaking as like necessarily fun at all times. And I'm like, I mean, I guess not from somebody that's his perspective. For me, where it's like me and my friends just making movies, it is a lot more fun because there's less stress. We're not like bound to a schedule. I don't have like producers breathing down my neck and like shit like that. Like a lot of people.
I'm sure it sucks when you have a studio behind you.
Right. Like it's kind of like a pipe dream for a lot of filmmakers to be like, oh, I would love to make like a $10 million movie and do all this shit. But I'm also like, I'm sure there's a lot of stress that comes with that too. Like, yeah, who wouldn't want to make a movie with like a $10 million budget, but at the same time, it's also like that's also a nightmare in its own. Like, you could pretty much do whatever you want, but you also have like a million moving parts. Whereas when I make an indie film, it's a lot easier to manage, but it's a bitch. Like, my least favorite thing about making movies is scheduling, because everyone that I work with all works full time at other jobs. Like, you may have one person that does like some film stuff for the most part, but we basically have to coordinate weekends. So like, we'll film Batman like once every other month because everyone's just fucking busy all the time.
And see, that's what I hate about it now. Like, for instance, me and DJ, like, we literally look forward. We spent like a couple hours of our time last weekend doing this past week's video. 8-minute video. We spent maybe 8 hours of the time. All right, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I enjoyed it.
It was easily like 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Definitely exaggerate. But yeah, it's the fact that we had to plan it, do it. But the whole time was super fun. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow, what if I did something else that gives me more time, consistent schedule, and maybe even incorporates me and my creative mind doing that more often.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I feel your pain. Like there's sometimes me and DJ won't see each other for a month to. I mean, we talk like every other day about like futures content or prepping podcast guests with you guys or whatever.
Yeah.
But to do it, it's all talk, no show until it's like 3 weeks from now. Yeah, I can finally do it, dude. And that sometimes you have to do what you got to do. That's one thing, but all the time, like especially hearing that like every other month, that's tough. It's very tough, and it takes the life out of you wanting to actually go do that and get it done.
It's hard.
It's
very hard.
So
yeah, definitely.
But, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. One of the things I'm thinking about doing is actually working with DJ. So that could actually see a move to.
You can have your weekend back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll not only have my weekends back, but me and DJ would live like either in the same house or 5 minutes down the road. Which would
talk about how often we can do podcasts.
Oh my God. Like I would actually start getting different equipment and actual like sound. I mean, I will go all in, especially if we were in a certain property where I can like really do like a man cave studio. Oh God. Every week, 2 to 3 videos. No questions asked. I'll spend more time doing it. Like right now I can't dedicate that, so
yeah, man,
I don't know. It's part of growth.
Yeah.
I gotta get on Chris's level one of these days. So I gotta catch up to him. Gotta catch up to him.
Yeah. Everyone wants to get to that next level. Like I said, it's hard to not compare yourself to other people, especially for me. So
yeah,
definitely.
no, but I think that's what's awesome is like just challenging yourself to be like the people you look up to. Like you said earlier.
Like I look at like Chris and I'm like, oh, I want to be doing that. He got to work on a movie that was like 6 figures. Like I'll be lucky if I get to work on a movie with like $1,000 budget. Like it's like, you know what I mean? It's like that seems like a pipe dream to me. Working on a movie that's like.
I mean, hey, ours was $1,500 budget, so there you go.
Yeah. I got you. Speaking of which, how did you get into that scenario? How did you get into a position, Chris, where you were able to help produce a movie for 6 figures?
I got brought into a company. Mute your mic, Cody. There we go. I got brought into a company after they saw my previous work, my previous movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I helped them out.
Can you say what company it is, or?
Yeah, my company's called Creative 7 Media.
They reached out to you when they saw your projects.
No, so one of the producers in Creative 7 Media I met through another company, and we started working together, and it was working really well. And eventually we were looking into starting a new company where we would bring in these other 2 guys. So the main guy, he does film and TV, he's a producer in film and TV. Another guy does distribution. Another guy does music and live events. And then I was brought in, and I'm like the youngest guy in the company, kind of the new guy. Not the new guy because we all started at the same time, but like definitely the youngest guy and the most inexperienced, I'd say. Mm-hmm. And I was put in charge of innovative content. And innovative content is sort of everything that is outside of the traditional entertainment industry in Hollywood. And which is great because that's kind of my wheelhouse. Like all I want to do is stuff that no one has ever done before. And those are the only ideas that I ever come up with. And they weren't really like, I was in the company, but I wasn't ever really like a big, like, I definitely wasn't equal to the other guys who have been in the industry for years and probably have close to 50 years combined in the industry. Mm-hmm. But, once they realized that a lot of stuff that I had predicted 2 years ago would happen are starting to happen. And
like what in particular?
Like, so for example, the Hype House, you know what the Hype House is? Mm-mm. With the TikTokers. So there's a bunch of really popular TikTokers who are in a house together and they create all this content together. Right. And someone manages the house. They're under a company and that they're making ridiculous amounts of money per month.
Yeah, Viners did that too when Vine was big. Yeah.
Yeah, so I predicted that a while ago, and that sort of came true somewhat recently. And that's an example of something where they're like, this guy predicted this 2 years ago. Like, maybe we should listen to what he's saying. So,
when you say predicted, did you like write it down, or would you say in a video, or?
No, I just talked to my producer in conversation. Like, dude, this is what's happening. This is what's coming. Like, this is what should be happening right now, but isn't happening yet and will be happening soon. In 36 months, this is going to happen. It's kind of like, okay, dude, a bunch of like social media stars are going to be in a house together, like making a bunch of money. Okay, dude. And then when it happens, it kind of gives me some credibility. And then beyond that, the COVID stuff happens. So the entire film and TV industry gets shut down. These guys are like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, hey guys, like, I know how to make stuff where you don't need to go through the regular Hollywood system. I know how to, utilize live streamers. Like I said earlier, in 10 years, everyone's going to be live streaming themselves 24/7, nonstop. People are going to have live streams set up in their house. They're going to be walking around live streaming themselves nonstop. The Google Glass is just the beginning of it. They're going to be live streaming 24/7.
Yeah.
And
You have that prediction on video now.
it's on video.
I
So
can
in
see
10
it.
years, I'm going to look back at this and say, told you so in 2030. So
I was muted, so I didn't hear it. So I'm going to take your idea. Thanks.
great. So like, but to go back to your question, I think that it's really creating a unique body of work and then meeting the right people and proving yourself. And sometimes that takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes years of doing stuff for free. It takes years of mopping the floors. It takes years of like cleaning the bathrooms, like trying to prove yourself and showing your worth until people realize, oh, maybe I can make some money off this guy. That's when you like show your value. And I'm also like a really like weird dude who has some weird tendencies and ideas, and I feel like I have a weird mix of personality traits that make it so that like if I will share my ideas with you and people see that they work, then they'll kind of start trying to utilize that. Like if people realize they can make money off you, they're like, okay, let's get this guy in,
Yeah, that's what it's about. They can make money off you. Yeah. At the end of the day,
you're always whoring yourself out,
Yeah, exactly. Like I mean, it's like in terms of like thinking like long term, and like it's, you got to think about like it's because you want to be creative too, but it's also you have to think about like stuff that would like actually make money. Because like when I think about like film projects and stuff like that, I'm also like, because it's kind of like a saying now in the film industry, and again, it could change because everything's constantly changing. It's hard to predict the future. That's why they got guys like you. It's like nothing is ever like things in the film industry right now. It's that people won't go to the theaters now, and theaters may die out. I personally, like you were saying earlier, our generation, they don't want to go to the theaters and pay for movies. In particular, people would rather stream things. I personally like going to the movie theaters. I miss it. I like the experience of it. I'm very that way. So
I like the event of going to a movie theater. Like I remember movies that I see at the movie theater more so than I remember a movie that I see at my home. Like if it's an event that I'm going out to go do something, like that's what I'm looking forward to all day. Is going out to see that movie.
I'm like, oh, I'm seeing a movie tonight with Kristen and like her brother and stuff like that. I get excited for that. You could do that at home, but like just being in the theater with the surround sound and like you got the movie theater popcorn and sometimes the crowd can be good, sometimes they can be bad. I watched Bad Times at the El Royale theaters, and this one motherfucker answered the phone in the middle of the movie. I was like, what are you doing? Like talking on the phone. I was like, stop. But when I watched A Quiet Place, it was fine. Everyone was dead quiet, and people would gasp at the same time. People would like get scared at the same time. It was perfect. Like I lived.
And it was
fuck.
Sorry. Like watching A Quiet Place in the theaters was a better experience than watching it in your home.
Yes. Because
you literally got the feeling of, the entire theater. You're in a room with 80 other people.
Right.
But you also know every other person, every single one of those 80 people is dead silent.
Yeah, in most cases.
And like that adds to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Like me, you and I mean, we used to go to Abingdon Cinema, the little like mom and pop theater, which had like a very retro vibe at our college town. $4 movie nights on Tuesdays. We would plan our weekdays and gym time and homework, everything around going every Tuesday night for $4 movie night. I mean, we went to, I would easily say without exaggerating 50 to 60 movies just on those Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably more. And I can remember over half of them. I mean, The Avengers, We saw Star Wars one of the like third times or whatever. I mean, there's just so many more that we saw. American Sniper. I mean, the list goes on.
It's all
They
about
stick out because hey, that guy like laughed at that part. Oh, hey, that chick over there screams like bloody murder when that person jumped in the horror movie. Or it's all it's the experience. And like Corbin, you said, when you walk in the theater, even I go to Westchester Commons.
I do
all the
too.
time, Corbin. I don't know if you ever. It's something about it has a low key retro vibe. I mean, it could have more, but for a Regal, it's not bad. I walk in, I'm like, hey, it's that ticket guy. He's always here. Or hey, it's that same like curly haired dude with the popcorn. You smell smell the smells, punch the ticket, you walk in, where's the seat, oh crap, all the way like near that is part of the experience. At home, you're just like, all right, let's go. And you're just like sitting there.
Yeah, and that's fine. And people, and that's fine.
Which is great, for situations. But like with today, so much of our social interaction with other people is gone. You know, we do so many things in home or at home or like on your phone or whatever, right? That when you have a situation where you're going out and you're joining other people in a community activity of watching they talk about how back when there were only 3 news channels, right, and they all showed news at the exact same time every single night. It was the 10 o'clock news or whatever it was. You knew a majority of people in the country were all sitting down watching the same thing, right? So you had kind of a sense of community, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that with anything anymore, right? Like look how amazing the world felt when like Pokemon Go came out for like 3 months when we were all doing the same thing.
I just got back into that recently. Fun fact. Now that
me and Kobe talked about that.
Go ahead.
Or talk about when Stranger Things comes out, right? Like when that season drops, right? And for like, a week, it feels like everybody's kind of on the same thing. Everyone kind of gets the same memes on Twitter and all that. We're all like, maybe it's just like,
right. That's the beauty of social media, though.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that like it's harder for those experiences because everything's virtual now. That's one of the reasons that Chris is predicting that people are going to be online and streaming 24/7 because we are social creatures by nature. We have to be around each other. Like I'm naturally introverted, but like you need some form of human connection to a degree. And when we talk about like, that's one of the reasons I like making movies. I like people talking about it. I like, bringing emotions out of people. I like entertaining people.
there's this sense
of community.
There's a sense of community when you're talking to somebody else and you're both talking about the same thing. And you're both on the same, even if you're on a different page, really. But if you both have that same common, point that you're both talking about, you bond over that immediately. You know what I mean?
But yeah,
when you go to a movie theater,
yeah,
even if you don't talk to the other 80 people in that room, all 80 people kind of have the same sense of community because you all just sat through a 2-hour movie, 2 hours of your time,
right?
Where you guys all just sat in one place, and 99.9 times it's a good experience that 80 people just shared together in a tiny area in one room for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's so true because like I've gone, even when they sucked, all the most recent Star Wars films, I went to opening night every time, and I was the first in line. Only all but Force Awakens, I was second. Other than that, you saw the old people, the young people, the shirts, the costumes, the lightsabers. Like to me, that was more the experience of the movie. Like, yeah, freaking Disney Plus, with the Mandalorian, that was sweet, but I was more hyped for an
event.
Really anticipated episode 9 because episode 8 sucked, but I was more or less highly anticipating this moment. Like I got my tickets 3 months in advance. You think about it every day because of the experience. I can't wait to see what shirt this person's wearing or, what nerd I'm going to talk to about this. Like that is the beauty of film. Chris, you smell like a giddy. I love it. But that's like, that's the whole beauty, the true beauty of film, especially where I think all y'all can agree is like being able to give someone that community feeling. Maybe that's the thing that we haven't talked about this whole time is like, it's cool to be able to give someone to come together with someone else for community over your production.
Right.
That's what I think is really
it's great to
that's what I saw at Chris's premiere at Tethered. I think that's one of the biggest things I took away into why I hyped this man up so much because it was a beautiful moment. I remember getting to
it's great.
What's it called? Bowtie Cinema off the Boulevard in Richmond. And I get there, and I'm like one of the first people there. They got the little red carpet and the little backdrop. We took pictures. His parents are selling T-shirts, like a little camera guy. That was sick. People funneling in. Time for the movie. We all go in. It's the experience. Right before the movie starts and the showing starts, Chris goes in front. It's like a little 30-second excerpt. Thanks for everyone coming. This means a ton to me. This is what I did. Blah, 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 blah. Enjoy the show. I'll never forget every piece of that because of him and the community. That's the beauty of it.
I totally get that because I had that moment for the first time last year. It was by the time it wasn't a feature film, but I had I worked on a couple short films, and we decided to rent out a theater at VCU for like 45 minutes, just an hour, just to show a couple short films we made. And are they fantastic short films? I mean, not necessarily. I mean, I guess it's all subjective, but like it's just that it's that rush of, oh my God, people are showing up here for me. This is weird. It's like it's a really weird feeling when it's like people are there to partake in something that you made. Like, it's one thing to go to a movie theater and watch a movie with people, then it's another thing to like have people watch your movie. It's like, I can honestly say it was probably one of the most exciting but also genuinely terrifying things I've ever experienced, because there's a bunch of people that have never seen what I've worked on, and I'm like so scared of what people are gonna say, because it's like, you want people to talk about your film, but it's not always nice to hear the bad things about it. But sometimes you need to hear the bad things. I need people to tell me, hey, this thing about your film suck. Like, I know that my first film, the Zombies film that I made last year, I know parts of it, or most of it, probably sucks. There's a lot of things I wish I could change about it now, but that's literally part of the process, as Chris mentioned earlier. It's literally part of the whole thing is learning from experience and looking back on
it's growth.
It's growth. It's exactly right. But at the end of the day, that first premiere that I had in December, where I had friends and family, people that I don't even see very often, like friends that I went to college with, come. It was like one of the best experiences I've ever had. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think eventually for me, it was just like, dude, none of this matters anyways. Like, we're making movies.
Yeah.
Like, we're literally like having people step in front of a camera and like say what we tell them to say and act how we tell them to act. And it's like, I don't know how good of a thing movie making is, because you're playing God at the end of the day. Like, it's
great.
You're literally creating an entire universe.
It's voyeurism.
And scripting it out and making it how you want it.
It's pure voyeurism. So like, I don't know how good of a medium even filmmaking is. So at the end of the day, it's like, I'm just going to make whatever I want and
keep going.
Maybe some people like it. I hope people like it. And if not, it's like, that's okay. I'm going to make something next anyways. So,
and the crazy thing I would imagine is, like, I have no idea because I've never made or written or anything like that. But I imagine when people go to see your movie that you've made, there's almost a sense of them being able to see inside your mind. Does that make sense? Because what they're seeing came from your mind. Maybe a collaboration of other people, right?
Yeah.
But mostly, if you wrote it, the words that they're saying came from your mind. It's kind of an insight of how you think of the world.
Well, I think Tolkien did a interview, or there's like an excerpt from something I read one time that it's really stuck with me from his. I don't think it was like middle school, and he was like, when you give someone a movie, hence. Or excuse me, a book or something you create, you're giving them a part of you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like really, really deep, but you really are, because it came from your mind, came from your heart, came from your soul, came from the other people that helped you, but you were giving them essentially a piece of you. Which I think, Chris doesn't like the sappy stuff he does neither, but it's true. You're giving them a piece of your life that.
I keep hearing an echo. Like, Chris, someone's gotta mute something.
It's
They're just gonna keep it going.
They don't care.
Yeah, you're definitely giving a piece of yourself, I think, in any movie. And before I came to the conclusion that none of this matters anyways, I was definitely like, man, I'm putting myself completely out there. Like, I'm giving you so much of myself, and if you don't like it, does that mean you don't like me? But then I realized, like, you change. Like people are constantly changing. So really what I'm giving you is I'm
A
showing you
snapshot.
A window.
a snapshot of what I was like at this point in my life, not who I am. You'll never see who I am in a movie, but you'll see who I was when I was writing it. And
Yeah.
that sort of made it okay for me to be able to be more vulnerable of like, these are the things that I'm self-conscious about. Like, this is what I'm vulnerable about. This is what I don't like about the world. This is what I love about the world. And, this is just what I was like at this point. I was 18 when I made Tethered. Like, like I was 20 when I made Deprivation. I'm 24 now. It's like you change. Your people constantly evolve and people constantly change. So you're giving people a snapshot of your life of what you were like during the specific time that you were writing that movie.
Yeah.
Do you guys
specific painting?
Yeah, it's a very
do you
vulnerable
guys
thing for sure.
So this might be more prevalent at like more of a fandom following movie. But do you guys feel like, it's a snapshot of who you are, but once it's out in the public, it is no longer yours. It's whoever's watching it. You know what I mean? So like Star Wars isn't George Lucas's. It is the person who is watching it and the person who has, made their life around Luke as a hero, right? Like that means more to them, and that is theirs just as much as it is George or Lucas's.
That's a really
that might not necessarily apply to like a smaller film, but do you guys have any sense of that at all?
When I get a fandom, I'll let you know. What's that say? If that ever happens, I'll get back to you. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer because it's like once you release it to the public and it becomes like, and you actually have like fans of that movie, does it essentially become their movie too?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's.
I think it comes
split.
down to like, how much can you separate the art from the artist?
Yeah.
And when people make something and put it out into the world, people are going to make it their own no matter what. Like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And after you release it, like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't control what people think. You can't control.
If you're George Lucas, you go back and throw a bunch of CGI in there. But
Yeah.
And you also make like $3 billion selling it all.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is it his anymore? I don't know. He sold it. So, whose is it? I don't know. But I think also people make movies for different reasons. Some people make movies for money. Some people make it for the pure art of it. So I don't know. I mean, no matter what you do, people are going to take ownership of what you make and then put out into the world. No matter what, you can't control it.
Yeah. Separating the art from the artist is important. Like, it's like definitely like seeing the movies that I like for the two short films that I've written and directed so far. Like, We Were Desperate is a post-apocalyptic film about it's literally in the title. How far are you willing to go for people you care about? And is that an original idea? Absolutely not. But it's a story I wanted to tell. It's something that always interested me about The Walking Dead, about a bunch of other shows and dramas, about Breaking Bad. I like that about movies. Or, when characters are in desperate situations and they have to do terrible, terrible things. Even though they're the hero. They're the protagonist, but they have to do really, really terrible, fucked up things for what they believe are good reasons or justifiable reasons. And, again, it's people looking into your movies and saying, what's the story that person wanted to tell? What was their mindset when they made that story or made that movie? Okay, that's fine. Here's my interpretation of it. Here's what I, liked.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like a majority of not film-going people, but people who watch film, they skip over that first step completely.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't
Most people just
think,
was this good?
What
Was
does
it
the
bad?
filmmaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they don't think, what does the filmmaker mean by this, or what does it mean to them? It's, this is how I think of it. This is what I think of it, which is then at that point no longer the filmmakers. It is theirs. You know what I mean? Their idea of it, their interpretation of what you made is not yours. It's theirs.
Right. And if people are, the way I see it is if people are, not everyone has to. As long as people are entertained and If people even watch it, they don't even have to like it. If people just watch what I made, that's great. Like, you can fucking hate it, but as long as you watched it, that's cool. Thanks for giving me your time. But it's even more exciting when people get what you're trying to say. Like, people, like, the biggest feedback that I got for my first short film was, I like the story aspect to it. I like where you were going with it. I like the world building, but the acting wasn't the best. And I'm like, that's fine. That's okay. I totally get the constructive criticism. I'm happy with that. But if people get what I'm trying to tell, like the story, that's great. That's awesome. I've done my job as a storyteller in that sense. So
I should see if I can read one of the reviews that I've gotten before. Let me see if I can find one.
I've gotten some really funny reviews too. It's fucking hilarious the shit people say.
I read some of your,
Bro, I've gotten destroyed. What? You want me to mute it? What?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mute it.
Mute it. Oh my god, you clown! No. So I
Get
remember,
closer,
like,
Cody.
when I-
Get closer to the mic.
About a fist away.
That's better.
I remember one time when I was going on, I was trying to look for his like website. I didn't know if like it still existed because I know he put like his merch and stuff like that on there and like where to watch like after his premiere. And recently I was kind of looking into that again, and essentially I remember finding it on Amazon Prime. Now you can't watch on Amazon Prime anymore, but one of the reviews was like a 1-star like absolute shite and give up your career, and I'm like, wow. Fuck you, asshole. And I wasn't even Chris. So, but I feel like, Chris, like, what was your take on that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like what like he's you gotta unmute yourself, but yeah.
Like, it was like, I think he's still looking for like either that one or one specifically. But yeah, I remember reading it and the guy was like literally just like went in and like 1-star review, everything. Oh, here he goes.
Yeah, I want to hear your response to what you say for hateful comments. I feel like I know what you're gonna say. You're just gonna say, I don't care. I'm gonna keep making movies anyway, which is the best way to go about it. Just, you know, if it's constructive, there's a difference between constructive criticism, and people hating. I've had people tell me like the first music video that I ever directed, I'm still really proud of it, and I had somebody tell me it's shit, and I'm like, okay, well, you know,
that's not constructive.
I'm like, that's not really constructive. The guy's like, you can't handle constructive criticism. I'm like, it's not constructive. If you had said, I didn't like this shot, or this was weird, or this lighting was weird, that's constructive criticism. I'd be like, okay, that's fair. If you just say something shit, I'm like, that's that's not constructive criticism. You're not being constructive. You're just being a dick. So
yeah.
Okay, you guys want to hear this review?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, so this is a review for Tethered. The title of this review is Honest Review.
We know it's true.
Reviewed in the United States on January 27, 2018. I'm not saying that anyone who worked on this film, parentheses, including the mastermind behind it, should give up or quit, but they shouldn't quit their day jobs and should make sure they're employed for the next few years while they continue to make films. I pray to God that they get somewhere in life with filmmaking. They just might make something good, but it might take time. End of the review.
Do you think they actually prayed that night that they wrote that and said, "Dear God"?
I hope
please.
so, dude. If they did, it worked, man. If they did, I'm glad they did.
That's wild. Man. That's wild.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like I'm setting myself up for this. You know, like
yeah.
I'm putting. I'm out here shaking my dick, man. I'm putting it all out there for everyone to see. And people are not gonna like it, and I've decided that that's okay. So, you know, I don't know, man. Like, it's because I like it. I think it's funny. It's something that I put out into the world, and people can take what they want from it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll like my next movie a little better. Who knows?
I never saw.
They pray to God, so
they pray to God. It's gonna get better. They prayed, so it's gotta get better.
But like. What am I gonna do? Stop making movies because someone left a bad Amazon review on my movie?
Yeah,
like,
because one fuckhead said something? No.
I'm gonna be doing this for the next 50, 60, 70 years if I am given that amount of time. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna be doing this either way, whether that person who prayed to God like it or not. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's fine.
I'll be the next Tommy Wiseau if I have to be, man. I'm gonna keep. It's like I'm gonna keep
Dude.
doing this.
Tommy's making a lot of money right now.
He is.
He's doing well for himself, and he's making his thing, dude. He's doing his thing.
I really liked your story. The last podcast, I didn't know that how somebody said something to you on Twitter. A classmate said,
Yeah,
"I want to see you
Yeah, I
fucking do
mean-
better," because you trashed Transformers, which is
Transformers 4.
4 is fucking garbage. So I get it. So if I could go back in time, I would join that Twitter conversation and be like, "Yeah, he's right. It does suck." But would trash talk me too, huh? No, it's fine. But no, I like that. It's like the hate that people give you is just gonna fuel that fire to just keep fucking going. And just
I really live for the "I told you so." Like, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
And I do it. I try and do it quietly most of the time. In that case, I did not do it quietly at all.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
like deleted her Twitter. She was like a whole thing. But like,
yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
BDE, son.
Oh,
That's
God, I
big.
hate when
Yeah,
you
it
say
is.
that.
The fact that you invited this girl to the premiere of your movie just fucking sent me rolling. I was like, dude, this kid,
Big
this
dick
guy,
energy.
he's got
That's
big
all
dick
that is.
energy.
It's not big, but I think that
It's average.
like that.
We know you just said you kind of put it out there. For
That's
everyone to
right,
see. We
that's
already
right.
know.
I'm putting it all out there, but yeah, I mean that was a unique situation. But like, I think people who get told that they can't do it should just use that, because it's and it's kind of cheating, because like I was raised in a really like cool family, and they give me a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem, so I'm equipped to be able to deal with someone who tweets me and be like, hey, don't talk to me again unless you can actually make a movie that gets in the theaters. Like, I have the self-confidence and ability to be able to say like, okay, I'll go do that right now, be right back. But like, not everyone is like dealt the luck and the great hand in life to be able to have parents that support them in a ridiculous creative endeavor, especially when they don't even know anyone who's successfully made it in a creative industry. So like, I got really lucky in that aspect. It's not all me. It's definitely, a lot of how I was raised and just the lucky hand that I was dealt in life. I'd probably, if I was dealt another hand, I could have quit after she tweeted me that. Be like, yeah, you're probably right. Like, maybe Transformers is the best movie ever made, and I can't make a movie. Maybe you're right. And I could have just as easily had done that. So, it's definitely not all me.
Yeah. Cody, look like you want to say something.
Well, hey, can you mute your mic? Thanks, Dad. So Chris, whether it fires you up or not, it fired the fuck up out of me, because I literally watched that video today. Corbin, I'm just gonna share it with you. It's on his channel now, which I think he said he made a new one. But just like Chris Foster, why I haven't tweeted in 2 years. It's on his YouTube channel. It is a damn good video. I know I've showed DJ that video like 8 times probably. It's easily one of like my favorite videos, and like, all jokes aside, no bias because he's my buddy, but like, I've shown that video to a lot of people because it's one of the whole reasons why Gas is made now. It's one of the reasons why like I love doing YouTube with DJ. Like, I know DJ gets his main source of entertainment from YouTube, whether it's podcasts to movie reviews to gaming stuff, everything. And being able to be in that realm, in the creative realm, it's amazing. So at the end of the day, that silly tweet honestly maybe helped us all, to be honest with you, because LaKayla, suck it. I'm glad you deleted your Twitter. Sucks. And if you've made it 2 hours and 15 minutes in their longest podcast ever, then yeah, you deserve to hear that message.
Hey, Cody.
What's up, dude?
Can I get one shot of you with your gigantic beer?
Nice, bro.
I love that thing. That's like a Thor glass.
Another.
Ah.
I love it. That's bad.
Another night.
That's been my favorite part of this podcast. Is just watching you drink that.
Dude, it's if people enjoy this podcast as much as it's been to record it, I hope that it's a pretty good one, because it's been a pretty fun one.
It was fun.
I was thinking while we're doing it, we can talk about it later, but like maybe split it in half.
I thought about that too. This made it. No, you're
and have the first.
No two-parters.
We still got Bro, we still got another 2 hours on this thing. This isn't over yet.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. I could talk about this shit forever. Like, we were talking about like community and like talking like what brings people together. Like, whenever I meet new people, I always talk about what movies they like. Hey, what movies do you watch? There's any good shows on Netflix do you watch? It's like one of the things that brings people together for me. And like,
What's your favorite Pixar movie?
I don't know why, but I had a fucking feeling when you guys were gonna ask me this question. We were talking about recording. I'm like, these motherfuckers
Corbin.
talked about Pixar movies last time. They're gonna
Say it
ask me.
right
I don't know if I
now.
know.
You thought about it.
We need
You
to
thought
know.
about it, so you better have a well thought out answer.
I don't know. You were singing Wally's praises. I really need to watch that full
He was
movie.
sucking Wally off for all I care. A little metal micropene. He was over there like, oh, Wally, like I mean, he was doing it again last night.
Too much to drink. Cody's getting a little lit. He's gonna be like, it's gonna be 3 hours from now. He's gonna be walking around the apartment like, if I hear about Wally one more time, I'm gonna flip out. He's gonna be like,
I'm just trying to. I mean, like 5 minutes in, Chris is like, Cody's just gonna take up this podcast and talk for 4 hours of it. So I'm trying to make up for all the time that I haven't been able to talk. So. Fuck you, Chris. Look what you've done. You know, I gotta bash Wally now. So fuck Wally.
I talked for like the first
just
20
kidding.
minutes, so you can fuck me too. In fact, I encourage it.
Okay, a Bug's Life over here is trying to talk shit about Wally. Okay, all right. Cool.
Are we literally identified now by the Pixar movies that we like the best?
How many fucking movies do you get while you get to live with bugs? But how many do you get in space with robots? I can give you 9. Star Wars episode 1 through 9.
He's so
Star Trek.
passionate
I
about
can keep
this.
going on. But bugs, dude? Yeah, you got that shit ass movie Ants by DreamWorks.
Bro, there's a bug
shit.
in Wally, and he's the best friend of Wally. He's a great character. He acts like a dog.
Yeah, but he's no flick. He's no flick, dude. Taking on the day, fucking killing those grasshoppers.
Bro.
Come on, dude.
Kevin
So,
Spacey is in A Bug's Life. What happened to Kevin
what's your favorite
Spacey?
Pixar movie.
I need to see a list of all the Pixar movies so I can remember. But if I had to choose,
We actually have a video that might help you out really well with that list. If you just go back and go to Traveling Techers YouTube,
yeah,
we have a couple of videos.
that's right. Ooh.
Yeah, so you can just kind of watch those.
3-parter.
It's a 3-parter. Just go back and watch those, and then on our next podcast that we do, you can let us know what your favorite is.
Oh god. Okay, so yeah.
Actually,
no.
Corbin, it just popped up on your phone right now.
What happened?
Did you just send him the
I just sent him the list like right now.
He did. He's just if I
He said you can't. He said you can't say your favorite. All right, then take a second. We'll pick top 3.
for me, I'm looking at a list on Wikipedia.
No, don't do that, Cody.
Sorry,
That's copyright.
I'm sorry.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. I have not seen like half of these Pixar movies from like 2012 on. I have not seen like.
Well, there was like 3 that I hadn't seen, and then
I haven't
have,
seen
like,
most of these.
40, maybe 50 total responses, and there was a bunch of people that didn't see at least like a third, and they were like, "Well, I'll just
It was
put those
awesome.
to like the last."
Man, you guys got a lot of people responding to you guys about that. Damn.
It was well, Chris nailed it. Chris was like, he wants, and I think he spoke for the people, and he was like, I want to see more stuff or have more stuff that you guys pump out to where I can interact. I don't know if like maybe you can attest for that, because like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, we had DMs to text to, even if they missed the first video, they were like, "Oh my gosh, send me that! I want to do it."
Yeah,
It was pretty cool. So we have a lot of other ideas. So whether you've seen it or not, it actually gets people to go watch movies. Especially it's perfect with the quarantine. Oh, you're
Yeah.
stuck inside. Go watch 22 Pixar movies. So
If I had to pick like gun to my head, which somebody's definitely gonna do that. It might be Cody if he has enough drinks in him. What's your favorite Pixar movie? If I had to choose, I would say it's probably The Incredibles. It's good.
oh,
fucking
you just
movie.
won DJ's
a
heart
good
right
pick.
there because that
Good
was
pick.
his favorite.
It's good. I would say
Chris, you said his favorite. You missed.
What's your second
He's yelling
favorite?
from the bathroom.
no. I'll wait for him. I have not seen. I don't want to keep talking because I don't want Chris to miss my hot takes on Pixar films.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, fucking munchies.
What'd you
son.
bring?
We got hot fries. We got kale chips. We got M&Ms.
Dude,
we got honey buns. We got all
hot
kinds
fries
of
were the
goodies.
shit at our high school. Like everyone fucking ate them.
Dude, that was a hot camaraderie. If you got hot fries, you're like that That was the middle school big dick energy right
You're-
there.
when you
Ah,
when
say it
you
again.
when you got hot fries for lunch, everyone looked at you and like, dude, he fucks. He gets it. That guy's got
And
hot
everyone
fries.
stood, everyone stood up like,
Those two got hot fries.
you,
Fuck!
you just smelt it.
Yeah. So I said that my favorite Pixar movie is probably The Incredibles.
That's a good pick.
I also really like Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah,
good pick.
another great pick. I think I was telling them this on, I don't know when I was telling them this, but I think The Incredibles is the best superhero movie for sure.
Yeah, dude. Okay, you know what? I think I changed my mind. What my favorite Pixar movie is. I'm sorry, I was going through the list still.
You just
Okay.
agreed that Incredibles is the best superhero movie ever, and then changed your mind?
No, I don't think it's the best superhero movie ever, but it is pretty fucking good.
Okay.
Okay, best Pixar movie, Up. Second is The Incredibles. Third is probably Finding Nemo.
Third is Nemo's.
Yeah.
Okay, that's respectable.
Yeah. I have not seen half of these. I've not seen all of WALL-E. I've seen some of it, and what I saw I liked. Toy Story 3. I don't think I've seen the whole thing. I turned off Cars 2 after like 20 minutes, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's a smart idea.
Not seen Monsters University. Inside Out was good. The Good Dinosaur. I've
Inside
not
Out's
seen
good.
it. Not seen Finding Dory.
Mhm.
Not seen Cars 3. I'm gonna get shot for saying this, but I have not seen Coco yet. Everyone says I need to.
Coco's so good, dude.
Incredibles 2 was okay.
Bro, Onward.
Onward's
Was
awesome.
Onward? I want to see Onward. It's on Disney Plus.
Onward's really good.
Yeah. It looks
Onward,
good.
some good shit.
Onward hit me in the feels pretty hard.
Yeah. I need to see.
Dude,
that.
I watched it with my little
Unexpected.
brother. Ripped apart.
Yeah.
bro.
Really.
Ripped apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's rough, man. It's so good, but it's rough.
I watched it with my brother, and it hit me pretty hard. You think it's going one way, and then it just changes on you.
Really? Yeah, I need it. That's kind of one that I put on the back burner, and I kind of forgot about.
Well, it caught me off guard because
Really?
it was one of those. They released it right at the beginning of COVID, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like it went straight to streaming. So
It did. Yeah.
and it was one of the Pixar movies that didn't get a whole. Well, I feel like Pixar movies don't get a whole lot of buzz if they're not a remake. Like, what's the one coming out? Spirit or what? What's the
Soul.
Soul? Yeah, Soul.
Gotta unmute your
I
mic,
haven't seen
buddy.
anything about Soul really.
I mean, each one makes like $1 billion. So
Yeah, they're all super profitable, but they don't do a whole lot in the arena of
You're talking about like
advertising.
impact. You're talking about like, do they make waves afterwards? Is it a movie that people are going to talk about for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they all
Wall-E-
are.
Wall-E won an Oscar, just so you guys know.
Did it win
So
Best
did
Animated
Shrek.
that year?
I believe so, yeah.
Damn, that's impressive.
Bro,
Up about
Wall-E. That's Pixar movie, bro.
Stop!
Bro, okay. The highest stakes in any Pixar movie, other than
Bugs Life.
what's that? What's the movie with? No, that's just a bunch of bugs. Forget that. So like, what is the movie with the girl with and the emotions?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. So apart from Inside Out, this movie has the biggest stakes of any movie any Pixar movie
Interesting.
has made.
Explain.
Literally to save Earth.
Explain how
movie-
that's bigger than a 14-year-old's mind.
No, a 14-year-old's emotions is way higher stakes in the world. And
Interesting.
And
To
in
them.
Inside Out, they make it so that her emotions and her growing up and this stuff that she's going for and growing up in is way higher stakes than saving the world. And
I would-
truly believe that.
Interesting.
Ding, 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 time out. I would argue that Monsters, Inc. has a bigger or higher stakes because Sully and Boo's, mute your mic, please. Sully and Boo's relationship forms through what wasn't supposed to be a meet and greet, saved the human race, human world, and the alien race because, hey, eventually they were going to get shut down when Mr. Water News found. Okay, how? Because Mr. Water News was trying to keep away with
Mute your
Randall.
mic. Mute your mic.
Okay. How?
No.
I didn't get to finish my points.
No. If Monsters Inc. didn't happen the way that it did, they would have never found out that laughs actually create more energy than screams. So just because all of that stuff happened in Monsters Inc., it was actually for the better. Even if Sully never sees Boo ever again, it actually saved most of the monsters world because they realized, oh, we don't have to traumatize little kids in order to make energy. We can just make them laugh.
So you're arguing in my favor, which is what I was about to say, by their accidental relationship saved the human race by making kids laugh at night instead of scared, and the monster world because they got 5 times the amount of energy, and everyone's better. So with all that being said, fuck Wall-E.
No. Monsters Inc. did not. There was not really that high of stakes other than Boo, and her not meeting Sully ever again is actually better for the Monsters Inc. world because they then found laughs and that helps the world. But scaring little kids from their closet is something that everyone grows up with. Everyone thinks that a monster is in their closet.
We're not even talking about Cars 1, right? Like he was trying to win a freaking Pistons Cup.
Okay. If you want to get in the car,
like he had to get there. He only had a week.
That's a big deal.
It was a huge deal. It was his first youngest.
Let's not forget about Mr. Fredrickson and Russell's relationship and bettering his mind and not being so sad about his wife's death. All right.
God, that was brutal. His stakes were just getting his fat old ass to the Angel Falls in South America. Those some big stakes.
And then to the retirement home. Exactly.
Right.
Shady Oaks, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, such a fucking nerd.
If you want to talk about Cars is just terrifying. Cars is the creepiest Pixar movie of all time because a lot of things in Cars insinuates that humans were alive at one point.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Pixar theory?
Yep.
Possibly. Well, the idea that all of the Pixar movies take place in one world.
Yeah. They all take place in one timeline
In one universe.
that starts with Brave.
It ends with Wall-E.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wall-E.
It either
starts
ends with
with
Cars or
pretty much-
Wall-E.
Pretty much like the key point to it is that Boo, in searching for Sully, discovers magic and travels back in time.
Because
Something along those
I
lines.
never saw Brave. I heard it was kind of, but I heard like the old lady in Brave is like Boo or something like that. There's a whole theory.
Yeah. The old lady in Brave, the witch in Brave is Boo because there's a carving in her hut of Sully. Like there's a carving of him in there.
This is a kind of off topic, but did you guys hear that? Did you hear the theory that Snowpiercer and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory are in the same universe?
Yes. So I just watched Snowpiercer for my 3rd time,
Such
which every
a
time it
good
trips me out even more.
movie.
I haven't
So
seen it at
good.
all.
Yes. Oh, dude, DJ, that's the next one you have to watch. Screw anything else.
All right, I'll watch it. I'll watch it right after this podcast.
I don't know what it is, but like
Oh, so like 3 a.m., right?
Koreans make really good fucking movies. I've only seen like 3 Korean films now that I can think of, and 2 of them were Bong Joon-ho, and the other one was Train to Busan. I don't know who made that, but like I swear to God, Koreans are so much better at making movies than we are, because they're all 3 fucking incredible movies. Incredible.
I would argue.
like this,
I would argue that maybe your data's skewed.
Maybe
The 3 movies that made it out of Korea that you know about are really good.
I know. I need a bigger sample size. It's just 3 movies.
Yeah, just a little bit, maybe like 5 movies.
Maybe 5. I'll get back.
Pick
to
2
you.
random ones, see if they're good.
Yeah, I will. What were you saying, Cody?
No, I was gonna add to your size. Like I would say, just Asian movies in general, from the Asian culture, because Lion came out of India, or is actually technically half India, half Australian. I think. I think it was funded by both, but regardless, that part of the world makes good movies. Because Lion, did y'all see Lion? Anybody?
No, I didn't.
Oh my
You're
God.
lying if you said you saw it.
I didn't see it.
I hate you. No,
That's an
you saw it,
honest
Chris?
trailer joke.
I don't doubt that.
It's pretty good.
He said it's pretty good. It's
all right.
High prize.
It's pretty good. It's all right.
It's all right. It's cool.
It's all right.
But it's all right.
What is everyone's favorite movie that they've seen in 2020? It doesn't have to be a movie that came out in 2020, just a movie that you saw in 2020 that you really liked.
Yeah, my letterboxd here.
Did you get your what?
My letterboxd. Wait, have we talked about this? The social
His
media
litter
for-
box.
That's what I
It's
heard.
gonna take a big old shit on the floor.
And a
Letterbox.
potty trained at Bath Hall. What's on your letterbox?
Let's see. I would say for 20.
Yeah, meet yourself.
Oopsie. For 2020. Oof.
I would say Onward.
Really?
I haven't watched a whole lot of movies in 2020, to be honest.
I watched way too many at the beginning of quarantine. Like, a lot.
I got an unhealthy amount.
Well, Cody watched 23 Pixar movies in the span of 2 weeks.
I watched every single one. Like that. Okay, I would say 1917.
Yes. That's good.
I have a top 3. 1917, The Two Popes, or Dolomite Is My Name. All 3. For Dolomite, I hated it, but I loved it. And I think our reason I hated it because it could have been better. I loved it because it's Eddie Murphy, and I missed Eddie Murphy. The Two Popes was freaking amazing.
That's just because we
for
just
the
went to
sole
Rome.
fact. No. We did talk
What
about
about Joker?
that. No, that's not why.
Did you see that in
Did
2020?
Joker come out in 2020?
That was,
No.
2019. Because that was like last fall.
If you saw it in
October
2020, it
2019.
counts. But if you saw it for the first time in 2020, it counts. But
That's true. It was a Joker. That'd be number 1 by far.
yeah,
But that's my top 3.
I think.
Joker sucks.
Shut up, nerd.
Hey, fuck out of this podcast. We're running this. Now. Get out.
Wait, DJ, do you actually think that it sucked?
No.
Oh,
I think
man.
it's awesome.
I was so excited that you had that opinion. I was like so excited to ask you more questions about that.
No,
We did an hour
I
movie
enjoyed it a
review
lot.
about
First
that.
of all, we're,
I could argue.
who do you
I could
think you
argue
are?
that it sucks.
Second of all, who gives you the right to think that?
I could argue that it sucks for sure.
Can we?
I could.
I could
Well,
probably take
I
your side.
made. I think I made that argument in our movie.
What was your
review.
main point?
Well, my main point is that it's a very poor portrayal of the Joker that would actually be able to do absolutely or anything at all close to doing anything cool as the comics. Like, he's a Joker that more or less lucks his way into a following, that the second they realize that he doesn't actually know anything, he's more or less just a crazy person, they're going to ditch him. He doesn't have any military training. He's not really actually intelligent at all.
Are we talking about the president or
He's-
Joker? I'm really confused. Sorry, I had to
Ooh,
make that joke. You set
nice.
yourself up for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Not
So,
trying to get
like-
political. Go ahead. Sorry. Shut up.
So pretty much, like, if I was gonna argue that the Joker sucks, I would argue that I think I made the argument in our review that if they would have just named it like Arthur or Arthur Fleck or Fleck or something like that, right? Take away the Joker aspect of it, it would have been like easily one of the best movies ever made. Like, just from like a psychological horror kind of movie, and like how beautiful it was, all that kind of stuff. But the fact that it's specifically a Joker DC comic movie brings it down a tier because it's not really a good Joker movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Like I don't know how they're gonna make a Joker 2 and make it compelling.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I know you're about to go in right now.
I mean, I think it's a good movie. I don't think it deserved like 10 Oscar nominations or whatever it got. I think Joaquin definitely deserved. And first of all, the Oscars don't mean anything, like they're ridiculous, but it just depends on who campaigns the best. It doesn't have to do anything with the best movie, but
It has to do with who campaigned the best, when the movie came out, and whatever the Academy is deciding their political
Whatever the old
fever of the
farts
week
decide
is.
that they like that year. Yeah.
Yeah.
so I don't think it deserved that many noms. I think Joaquin definitely deserved Best Actor.
Yeah.
Walking was amazing.
But I mean, if you read the script to that movie like is completely different from what they wrote and what they ended up making. Like, they're completely two different movies. So like when they got on set to make that movie, they were really just like the director and Joaquin were really just like almost figuring it out as they went. It seemed like, if you read the script. So I would argue that it's a movie that was sort of hobbled together It was the first movie that was out of the box. It felt like an indie movie, which people don't watch, but indie movies are actually really great. And a lot of people would like indie movies if they watch more of them. But it kind of had an indie movie feel to it. It did something that no other superhero movie really had done, especially in the DC universe. So like, it was kind of hobbled together, and it had kind of a perfect storm to be successful, I think. But it's a good movie. I can't argue that it's terrible, but I think it was definitely over hyped and overrated by the end of the award season.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call it like a 10 out of 10 per se, but I did think it was really good. But see, I saw it a second time, like maybe like a month or two ago, and I was just like, this is a good movie, but I don't know if this is a movie that I can just like continuously watch over and over and over and over again. But
It's a heavy movie.
No, it's no Wally, that's for sure.
no Bug's Life now.
All right, stop. Yeah, no, get off your knees. Come on.
I think probably the best movie I saw in 2020 was probably Parasite.
I didn't get to see that.
It's
I've
great.
never seen that yet.
I didn't know.
I've never seen you put someone on like your Facebook or something about that.
I didn't look up anything about that movie going into it. Just don't look up anything. It's just one of those movies you got to go in completely blind. And coincidentally, like I said, Snowpiercer was on up there, and then 1917 was good. But as people have said, like 1917 wasn't a groundbreaking film in terms of like story or the way it was written, but in terms of just like cinematography, it's just like all on a whole nother level. I'm like, I've never.
It was actually very boring, but
I
it
could
was
see that.
so. It was the opposite because you didn't want to blink because the camera's moving like this slow half the time, and you're waiting. You're almost like watching the background. Like, oh, is there going to be like a German, coming over that hill over there, or is there going to be explosion over there? Is there going to be like a plane coming in the distance? Is there going to be like bugs crawling? I mean, that movie was real big on the finite detail. So
it was almost
yeah,
distracting
it wasn't
at times how
groundbreaking.
there was no cuts. I was just like, it was almost distracting. I'm like, you gonna cut now? Something gonna happen? I was just like, oh my god, how are they doing this? This is insane. I just kept getting distracted about how insane it was, and I wasn't paying attention to what was going on. But yeah, I see. I mean, it's a very simple premise. These guys got to get behind enemy lines and warn another battalion or whatever that they're about to get ambushed. Like, it's very, very simple. It's not groundbreaking. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I was bored at all during this movie. I thought it was a masterpiece.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it looked great. It's kind of like, I feel like longer takes and like the whole one-shot things have kind of come back into style.
Have you ever watched a movie and 5 minutes in gone, I don't think they've cut here in a while, and like rewind it to rewatch it to see if they've cut it? Like I did that with I was watching Marriage Story, which was amazing.
Great movie.
And there's a scene, I can't remember when, but like when what's the female's name? The lead actress?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. When she's talking with her therapist or whatever, she does like a 5-minute monologue where she goes through every single emotion flawlessly. Like she just transitions from every single one. She's just talking to her therapist, and she gets up and she walks across the room and she comes back. And like 4 minutes in, I was like, I don't think they've, like, it started feeling weird almost that I was watching this long and there was never a cut away from her or anything,
I think the average moviegoer doesn't notice things like that. I think they don't care.
I love one cuts. I think those are so amazing.
Like I said, I think they've definitely come back into style. I've noticed more and more movies are doing them now because I feel like it's kind of like almost trendy. And I've seen like an entire argument or on Twitter where it's like, don't do one shots just because they look cool. Like actually have a reason for why you're doing it, and don't do it just to look fancy or whatever. Because like people are saying like, oh, people do it just to look fancy or just to impress people. Like, look at all this, we did it all in one take. Isn't that crazy? But I definitely get the appeal to sticking to longer shots because it's like, it's a lot easier to edit. Like, did you guys ever watch Haunting of Hill House? Did you guys ever watch it?
I never did.
Incredible Netflix
series. I heard it's really good.
It's phenomenal. It's one of the best things Netflix has ever done. But their 6th episode is shot like 1917, where it's like the entire thing is made to look like it's a
Oh.
one shot.
That's when they're arguing and stuff, right?
Yeah,
they're arguing like in the yeah. Okay, no, I did watch that. That's right.
The funeral home. So that was filmed, that episode was filmed. Mike Flanagan, again, same guy who did Hush. He broke down the entire episode on Twitter, and I was just like, again, I live for these tidbits, man. I just like, oh my god, like it's crazy because I've never been on like a big film set like that before. I just love hearing like every little bit of insight that these bigger industry professionals have, and it's just like hearing like the logistics of how many times they had to rehearse those scenes to get it right. Because if one person fucks up, they got to restart the whole take. They got to go back to one, and how like they put the sets near each other so they could go from the funeral home to the haunted house and then back again. But they only cut the entire time. Again, it made it look like it was one shot, but they did what 1917 did, and they only had like, I think they said 5 or 6 different shots. They stitched together to look like a one shot, and it's flawless the way it's done. It's great. It's so good, and it's very. Impressive.
That was probably my favorite episode.
Yeah, but as the director said, he was like, it took like 2 minutes to edit. It was like the easiest thing to edit ever. Because So
that's a dream come true.
Yeah, that is for sure.
That's a dream come true.
Whereas
this was easily our longest episode.
It's not over yet. What's your
Cody,
what's your
call it
favorite
quick.
candy?
Cody, call
What's your
it
favorite?
quick.
What's your favorite candy?
What's your favorite candy?
Dude.
What's your favorite candy?
That's a stupid question. Skittles.
That's a great question. Okay, no. Skittles?
No. It'd probably be Starburst, but I think Cody was going to say
When
something.
you say candy, do you include chocolate in that? like really?
Okay, so there's two types
Oh my
of
god, we
people.
had this argument last night.
There's two types of people. There's people who like chocolate candy, and then
Chocolates are
there's people
sweets,
who like
not candy.
no, any candy. But there's people who like gummy type candy, and then people who like chocolate type candy.
Yeah.
So I'm chocolate. I like chocolate type candy.
Yeah.
I think they're two different things.
No, same thing. There's
Well,
just
I
two
think
types
they're
of
different.
people.
You're an idiot. No, I'm just kidding. No, they are two different things. You're right, but I guess. But I'm more of a
Because, like, you'd
chocolatey
have to
person too. Yeah.
So what's your favorite type? What's your favorite candy?
I don't know. If
Go
it's a hot summer day, I'm going Starbursts because I don't want to deal with the chocolate melting.
Dude, I said the same fucking thing because
That's a good point.
last night I went off on this tangent as in if you want chocolate, you can eat it in the summertime. Fuck no, it's gonna melt in 2
Yeah,
seconds.
exactly.
Not to mention you can fold your fingers. It makes your stomach upset because it's warm
Yeah.
chocolate. It's warm dairy product.
Ew.
When on a
Y'all are
warm summer
pussies,
day,
man.
I want some
Come
fucking
on.
Sour Patch, son. I want some Trolley sour gummy worms. I want some Starbucks. I want some damn Skittles. We'll throw that in there because it's not chocolate. In the winter, yeah, I guess you can have some chocolate or with your hot cocoa or your coffee. Nah, but still,
You're one of those
day,
seasonal
you can
food people, aren't you? Like you don't eat ice cream in like the winter. You're one of those weird fuckers. aren't you?
Guilty. No. No. You're a wanker. No, so like Sour Patch Kids, you can eat any time of the
Cody
year.
doesn't eat ice cream because it has too many calories.
I have nothing to say to that. No. I like ice cream. That's like a guilty pleasure of mine. No, it's just the fact that Sour Patch, for instance, is like one of my favorites. You can eat any time of the year, 365, any season. Chocolate, you can.
You
It doesn't
can't
go
but
with
you just don't
everything.
want to.
Also, touche. But if you eat chocolate, are you gonna go drink some juice afterwards, or a Gatorade, or a Monster?
Yeah.
The only thing you'd really, I mean, you want awesome.
Those were some steep steps you just took.
No, it's true because like with
a
chocolate
juice,
or
Gatorade, or Monster.
I usually have a
Well, no,
fucking whiskey on the rocks with my Reese's. What are you talking about? Come on. Do you not? You don't dip your Reese's in whiskey like me? I guess I'm weird.
Whiskey and Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, the fucking crackhead duo right there. Come on, what are you talking about?
That's right.
Actually, I prefer rum. But yeah, no,
Kit Kats and rum. That makes sense.
I mean, I love Kit Kat. That's my favorite candy bar. Honestly, that or Reese's.
Okay, so
Do you
Cody's
think-
is Sour Patch
Do you think
Kids.
Kit Kats? Do you think Kit Kats is a bar? Like
I think Kit Kat is a candy bar.
a candy
Yeah.
bar. You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What if you buy an individual stick of it?
I think it's more of a chocolate sandwich than a bar.
I'd still
Well,
classify it as like a Snickers.
Is it a chocolate hot dog or a chocolate sandwich?
We're getting to some really philosophical stuff here. I don't know if I can.
Okay,
Or
so
maybe a chocolate tortilla.
Okay, so DJ,
That's-
what is your favorite candy then? Cody's a Sour Patch Kids. What's yours?
Regardless of season, just
Yeah, come on.
yeah.
We're not having pumpkin spice lattes here. Like, let's just grab a candy.
Just
all
grab
right?
some
Oh,
fucking
dude,
candy at
You're
7-Eleven.
at
What are you going for?
7-Eleven. Yeah, you're gonna grab a
Sour
candy. What are you getting?
Patch.
Okay.
I'm going through 7-Eleven. I never get it. I'd probably say Starbursts.
Corbin.
Probably a Reese's Fast Break because it's like a Reese's but a candy bar. The shit's deadly.
Okay, that's good. But mine is peanut M&Ms all the
Fuck
way.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't think of those.
That's not a fucking candy bar or a.
I
It
didn't
is
say candy bar. I
it's a
said candy.
candy.
I said candy. The best thing
Oh, those
about
are good.
peanut M&Ms,
I
you got
might
the
pick
saltiness,
those.
you got the sweetness.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect candy for any occasion, except when it's 100 degrees out, like Cody said.
I do like the pretzel M&Ms though. Those are good. Those are
I
good.
disagree. I disagree with the
right
100
there.
degrees. I think for peanut M&Ms,
Yes.
I think for peanut M&Ms, if you're having peanut M&Ms in 100-degree weather, you're gonna eat the whole bag in like a minute, which is even better because then you don't feel like you have to make it last a while. You know,
So
you just
good.
enjoy
You
it
just
right
might
away.
get a little tummy ache or something, but
Yeah,
That's
don't
okay.
hurt.
We're talking about like in the moment you're eating it, not afterwards.
Yeah. Fuck out of here with that.
Yeah, it's like if you go to 7-Eleven, what candy are you gonna get? And that's the basic
Exactly.
question. I'm getting peanut M&Ms every time. Like, But when it comes to candy bars, I'm gonna grab either a Snickers or a Take
Crunch.
5.
Crunch for me.
Crunch is good for the movie theater.
Crunch is a great one.
Yes.
For me. That's why I pick it.
Reese Cup or Kit Kat.
Reese Cup. Yeah, my man. It's good. If you're on a road trip and you got to stop somewhere and get fast food, where are you stopping?
Where are we at?
Okay. So
South or east?
Where are we talking? Where are we talking here?
East Coast.
East Coast?
You're going from Florida to Virginia.
Freddy's.
Freddy's.
Never had
I'm gonna go
Freddy's.
Chick-fil-A.
Freddy's.
I'm gonna go Chick-fil-A because
You were gonna say that.
you can eat Chick-fil-A and not have to shit yourself immediately after, as
I
you
don't-
would McDonald's, Burger King,
How
everything
do
else.
you eat Chick-fil-A?
With my mouth, usually, sometimes not. But that being said, I also have an entire philosophy of when to stop if you have to go to the bathroom and where to go. Like most people go to gas stations, never go to gas stations. There are multiple places you can go where there are bathrooms where no one is ever there. They're always clean. I don't know if I should tell you these secrets because people might start using them. And then
No, I want to
I'll
hear
be-
them. Why are you so against gas stations? I mean, it's like just don't. touch
Because it's
it.
disgusting. It's
Yeah.
like the grossest
Where-
place to
where-
pot. It's like a porta potty.
You're leaving me on the edge. Where are you going? Where do you usually go?
Okay. All right. So if you really have to go and there's nowhere and you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, like if you can get to a Starbucks, that's not a bad pick because Starbucks has one toilet, it's locked door, like it's private, it's pretty good to go. It's usually pretty clean. But the number one pick that I always go for is Home Depot. Because if you go to Home Depot, no one is ever in the bathroom. They use the utilities that they sell, so everything is always updated. All their soap is updated, all their toilets are updated, everything's updated. No one's ever in there. Home Depot is the best place to go if you have to go to the bathroom.
I just go to
Chris,
Bed Bath and
Chris.
Beyond and shit in the floor toilets. You know it's clean. No one's
Chris.
using it. I just use that. Just dump and go. Right there.
Chris, next time you swing into a Home Depot, you really have to go. You're gonna, sprint in there. You're standing at the urinal. There's gonna be a guy next to you. He's gonna look over and go, "Good tip on this one."
With this
He's gonna say, "I
podcast.
like your watch."
Yeah.
Or you can say what my dad says every time he gets in the urinal next to me. My dad always goes, "Water's cold." I'm like, "Okay, I've heard that joke a million times, Dad. You can stop making it now." It's the dumbest shit ever.
It's tradition at this point.
Yeah, it's tradition.
Love it.
That's
Rite of
awesome.
passage.
Wait, why not Lowe's?
You can
No,
probably
Cody,
do
that's a
Lowe's.
stupid
I'm more of a
question.
Home Depot guy.
Shut
but-
up.
I'm
No, okay, dude. No, it's psychological. You guys go to the bathroom, right? Blue is bad. Orange is good. You're gonna go to orange.
What?
Psychological.
Nah, blue's usually good.
I'm with you.
Blue's usually calming, cool colors.
Not with a full bladder. It's reverse
Yeah.
opposite.
Orange like heats things up though. It's like ooh, fire.
Exactly,
Ooh,
exactly.
It's like a calm, collective relief.
Yeah.
Heats you up. You gotta go.
Wow, I don't know what kind of fiery shit you taking, but
Also, well, actually,
The answer to the fast food
Oh.
question for me was Chick-fil-A or Taco Bell. Not that anyone asked. Just saying that.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell's good.
Taco Bell is rough. It's
Good.
really risky to go there on. Like you have to go towards the end of your stretch, like of the drive.
We're
stretch, 'cause it
talking
could
about a
be-
road trip. You're on a road trip and you're going to Taco
I
Bell.
rarely have like I've had like probably like
Dangerous girl.
I don't really have like any like intestinal issues with Taco Bell ever, except for like once. Like it doesn't faze me. Everyone's like, I have the shits when I have Taco Bell. Like it's kind of like a whole meme now, like about how like Nickelback sucks. Like it's kind of a meme that Taco Bell gives you the shits. I'm like, I don't. What do you guys get there? Because I feel like
You are the chosen one.
I'm the chosen
That's
one.
what that means.
No,
That's right.
what that
I
means.
see.
I'm
I
the
don't
fucking
think,
Avatar, y'all.
That's right.
You are Anakin of the fast food world.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. I don't like sand.
Chick-fil-A though, all the way,
Chick-fil-A for the win.
every time.
Restaurant
All right,
quality
now-
food for fast food.
Now you're in Canada. Where do you go?
What's in Canada?
I stick a hole and drink maple syrup out of a tree.
Genius.
I go ice fishing.
What's your answer, Cody?
You want me to say Tim Hortons only because
There
it's
it
the
is.
because it's the only fucking fast food place there, unless you want Canadian McDonald's, which is whack.
Tim
Canadian
Hortons is
McDonald's.
awesome.
Gave me a
Canadian
fucking
McDonald's.
moose burger last time I was there.
There's nothing wrong with McDonald's, by the way.
No, there's not. But from
Well,
Canada,
There's a few things wrong with McDonald's.
People like to shit on McDonald's. I am not above McDonald's. I am totally down with $1 for a cheeseburger that tastes good. I'm down for that.
clear you didn't see the founder, DJ.
I saw the founder.
I feel like I'd rather get Wendy's than Taco Bell. I mean, sorry, fucking
Interesting.
McDonald's.
Then oh, okay.
Interesting. You must be an elderly person on the way home from church.
No, that's Arby's.
Honey, let's stop off and get a chili over there at Wendy's. Yeah, that's me.
4 for 4.
The 4 for 4, that's right. Yeah, I feel that.
Can I get a junior bacon cheeseburger with my chocolate frosty?
I like, dude, the Frosties are good, man. They're good.
They are.
And the fries
Frosties
good.
are amazing.
I like their fries.
And you get
better
a
than-
Frosty at Wendy's consistently, but that McFlurry machine stays broke. So,
That's right. I need to try Zaxby's again. A lot of people like Zaxby's.
dude, Zaxby's is the chicken of the deep south, DJ. The best chicken of the deep south.
Yeah, I need to try it. It's been a while since I've had it.
Dude, so good, especially the Zax sauce or even their little salads they call them instead of salad. It's like $8 for like 75% chicken, 25% lettuce. It's so good.
Hey, you think anyone's gonna
So-
listen to this full episode?
Probably not. So we're almost to 3 hours. I highly doubt it. But if someone does, I will buy them dinner at this point.
I'll personally send you a $500 check. But it'll be
I'm gonna comment.
Well, it's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
Chris
comment on the video.
$500 for his backer for his movie. So
that's right.
if they even made it that far to get that reference, then I'd really buy them dinner.
No one's watching. No one is watching this right now. Come on,
That's
let's just be
okay.
real.
That's okay.
No one's made it this far.
That's all right.
It's all right, but it means something to us, right?
You getting all
It's
emotional in there?
People on Spotify might listen to this.
If it
Cody,
can
if
get
you
on
stay an extra day, we should
Spotify.
shoot another one.
If it gets on Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris trying to get me to stay an extra day.
You should. We could record more podcasts. Shoot more videos.
See you
Don't leave
Saturday
me
for 3 more hours of this shit.
You smelling your mic over there?
You sound like Darth Vader trying to convince Luke to join the dark side.
Or podcast.
More podcasts.
Feed me entertainment.
We literally filmed like 75% of the day. The camera, a camera was on at some point. It's
Yeah,
like
when it was off, I was like, "Are you filming this or what? Like, what's going on?"
he asked, I was actually getting tired of him asking me that. Like, you had to charge your battery how many fucking times? Because I'm an idiot. When I got
Cody
the camera,
thinks
so
he's
I
the
have
next
battery,
David
so.
Dobrik.
Oh my God, no! I went on a 10-minute rant earlier. Oh, I hate that guy.
You hate David Dobrik.
My name's David Dobrik, and I'm just gonna collab with people to get clout. And it's
Come on, dude.
irritating.
Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Come on.
I mean, he's a cool guy. I kind of went down a rabbit hole with his videos like earlier this year. I was like, this guy's actually kind of entertaining. I mean, like some of the people he hangs out with are kind of like frat douchebags, but I mean, like his stuff's entertaining though, to a degree.
I did like the little Twitter, TikTok video, whatever it was, of when he got that Iron Man suit. That was kind of funny.
That was cool.
And then Robert Downey Jr. like said something to him. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
But when he was on, I listened to. I'm like the only person that I know or ever will know that listens to Steve-O's podcast. And when he was on there, I was like, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. It was a weird podcast, but it's also hosted by Steve-O. So it can only be so entertaining consistently. So
It's a miracle.
he had like
that guy's
Tony
alive.
Hawk to Shaq. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
He like you can really hear him. It's like, oh well, guys, here's my podcast. I can really,
That's pretty accurate.
bro. I'm just Steve-O. And like that weird little smile he does. I'm like, dude, if your face gets stuck like that, that might as well be the next clown mask.
It is
like,
stuck like that on his back. The
That's-
tattoo.
That is very true, actually.
That back tattoo.
It's very true. I almost forgot about that. Just they are making another Jackass movie, so he has said that like 3 times and confirmed it.
Yeah,
So
supposedly if they can get poor what's his name? What's the guy who's went to rehab? Forget his name.
Knoxville.
No.
Johnny
Oh,
Knoxville.
Bam Margera. They get Bam out of. Yeah, poor guy. I feel bad for him. Shame.
Womp womp.
Gotta pull him out of rehab to get him into Jackass. Then you can go back.
They go back. Chris, did you ever didn't you? I thought you moved out to LA for a little bit. Did you?
Yeah, I
Is
was
Chris
out in
falling
LA.
asleep?
I was out. I was out in LA, and then everything, pandemic,
Oh, so you were
That
living
whole
out
thing
there
happened.
for a little bit, and then when pandemic hit, you moved back.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah, a couple of years, and then I've been back I was back in Pennsylvania for a little while. Then now I'm here. I was planning on going to South Carolina a little while, and yeah, now I'm going to shoot this movie. So just trying to
Just bounce.
go with what
around everywhere.
happens, and yeah, dude, I'm kind of everywhere.
I dig it. I dig it.
I like it that way though. I like going to different places.
Well,
and-
spontaneous. Yeah, I don't like being. I mean, Chris and I have talked about that. I'm like, I don't like staying in one place. Like, I don't know. Like, we're LA is definitely in the cards. It's just a matter of when this fucking pandemic is over and we actually can talk about moving out there, because I really don't want to move right now across the entire United States in the middle of a global pandemic.
It's expensive, dude.
It is. I'm not looking.
It's
forward
like,
to it,
yeah, I mean, it's like $1,800 a month for a studio.
but yeah.
It's like, it's rough, man. Like, and the average people, or the average person who goes there, only stays for like 6 months before they have to leave. Because it's just like
Yeah.
you go and get a job and try and do your thing while you're out there, while you work, and it's like you only have so much runway. You gotta either have like a bunch of money saved up, or like get a good job as soon as you get there. And it's like, it's tough, man. It's not easy.
It's hard. Because when you work in the industry, you gotta work the odd jobs, like as a waiter or waitress or stuff like that to make money. You have to work flexible jobs that give you time off, especially like if you're an actor or actress or something. So it's like you can't work like a salaried, grounded job, because you're going to be gone all the time on auditions and film and stuff. So it's like there's not really a whole lot of like good like kind of part-time jobs that pay enough to be able to afford that. Like, I mean, I read Jenna Fisher's book. She was talking about like the actor's life and how like she knew a guy that had green bean sandwiches for dinner, like literally just like green beans in between 2 pieces of bread, 'cause that was all he could afford sometimes. 'Cause it was it's so expensive.
It's so inconsistent, like
Yeah.
you get a job and then you could not have another gig and for like another 6 months, a year, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
you get paid big on one gig, and then it's like,
You better
gotta
make
make
it
that
last. Yeah.
You can never rest with that job, that line of work.
it's rough out there. And I can see why people move there and then eventually leave.
Yeah.
Because LA is very much just like work. Like, try and get stuff done. There's always something going on. It's a lot. It's a very weird place. I love it, but it's a very weird place, and I wouldn't suggest most people live there. Like it takes a specific person to want to live there, I think.
Would you move back?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're that certain type of person.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I was there, only for a couple of years, but like I really do love it, and I see all the flaws in it and the downfalls, but it's like I don't know. Even
The
with
pros
all
outweigh them.
yeah, even with all the trash, like I really enjoy being there and being surrounded by all these creative people 24/7, and like just going to get a coffee at Starbucks, like you could meet someone that you can collaborate with on forever. So
Yeah.
I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a matter of being out there with a bunch of other. I mean, there are filmmakers and hungry people, as they say in Richmond, but it's not. There's not as many opportunities. There's not as many connections, in Richmond. I mean, more productions are moving to Virginia and stuff like that for tax reasons, kind of like Atlanta. But the thing about Virginia is that at the end of the day, all the film offices are based out of Los Angeles. So for somebody like me or you that needs to be on that creative side, we have got to be where the offices and producers and stuff are based out of, not just be where they're filming. I feel
Yeah,
like.
and it's tough not being around people who are also creative. Like being around only people who are in sort of, I don't know, not as involved in the creative industry. It gets tough because it seems impossible.
Yeah.
When it's not. It's not impossible, but it's hard to see that when you don't really have anyone around you that you talk to regularly that is on the same creative wavelength as you and like wants to talk about their ideas and wants to talk about these crazy dreams. It eventually seems kind of like a pipe dream if you don't get your daily dose of creative input.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Sure.
it's cool though. None of this matters anyways. It's all good.
We're just sailing on a rock through space. We're all gonna die anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's right. It's a good mentality to have. Do what you want. It's not gonna matter anyway.
Pretty much.
That's
going to be the title of the video: "Sail on a Rock Through Space."
For 4 hours.
for 4 hours.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. This was part 1. We're gonna take a break. Record for 3 more hours.
We actually, the recording actually stopped every 10 minutes. We're gonna have to do this all again. So
from the top, everyone, let's get back to our initial cues. Let's go.
Cody has an entire Vanilla Ice cover prepared for part 2. Can't wait to see it.
And my rating for January 3, so yes.
I didn't hear you because there's too much echo.
And my script reading for Janitor 3.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Yes.
a table read for Janitor 3 next time we come back.
Joke was 2
Let's do it.
hours ago, so it almost wasn't funny anymore.
Hey, I like it. Bringing the jokes back around, man. That's how it's done. That's how it's done, baby.
Bring it all around. Let's close up all the loops. Let's close this thing out.
And final words, Corbin, Chris, thank you guys again for being on it. Chris, thank you for housing me, providing me with my peanut M&Ms and my hot fries at midnight. Dude, that's what I live for, 15-hour rides down here. So in closing, Chris, Corbin, DJ.
Oh, 15-hour
comments?
ride? We almost stopped that, this podcast.
That's right.
Right?
Cody, you can listen to this podcast on your way back up home.
Just 5 times.
will. Probably will. Just
This will get you
I
halfway
probably
there.
right. But Corbin, Chris, anything in closing?
I'm sorry I was late.
We didn't
Really,
start,
I'm
till
sorry.
like 8:30 or 8:40, so it's fine. We were all
Yeah.
fucking around with stuff.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, in terms of stuff to promote, I don't know. Batman's coming out probably either the end of this year or early next year. Most likely early next year. Watch the teaser trailer on YouTube. Just type in Batman Dawn of Fear teaser trailer and watch it. And got another short film in the works and another possibly proof of concept movie that could be a historical fictional horror based on the Lost Colony. We'll see. I don't know. I know it's kind of been done before, but not from the Native American perspective.
The Lost Colony. Which Lost Colony?
Technically, the second one, the 1597 Lost Colony in Roanoke.
The Roanoke one, dude.
didn't talk-
I've been thinking about that ever since I learned about it in 7th grade.
I didn't talk about that earlier, but so I've been getting really hype about this idea. I haven't written anything yet. I'm still conceptualizing it, but I want to tell a story about. No one's gonna listen to this. It's just us right now at this point. We're 3
Yeah,
hours
it's fine.
in.
It's fine.
I was telling everyone, I'm like, the way I have pitched this movie to people is that, like, I feel like it's a stereotype in movies and in TV shows and in video games that there's always some sort of evil that's based off of, like, Native American burial grounds or Native American spirits. Like, I feel like that's kind of like a common trope. And I said, what if we did the opposite? What if there was a movie where it was the Native Americans' perspective and the evil force was from the white man, and they brought that over from the old world? So I was thinking, like, what the whole movie is from the Native Americans' perspective, the Croatan Native Americans, and they come over. The Europeans come over, and it's like, oh yeah, these people are cool. They're bringing this, this, and this, but they unintentionally brought something else with them, and that ends up resulting in, like, the lost colony, and it's about Native Americans trying to survive against this possibly supernatural entity.
Dude, that's sick. And what was written on the tree in Roanoke?
So there was Croatan on the. I've been looking up a lot of shit about this just for research purposes for the movie, but Croatan was written on one of the palisades from like the lost colony itself, and then the word crow, CRO, was written on one of the trees outside of the palisades, outside of the colony. But it's assumed that they all packed up and left and went to live with the Croatan Indians.
That's boring.
But
That would have been found.
They tried to go find them, but storms kept coming back. So they, like, I did a lot of research into this. I'm not gonna bore everyone with the details now, but, like, they tried to find out what happened to the people that left the lost colony, and they didn't. They tried to go, like, the guy left in 1597, and then he came back, and then they were all gone. And he's like, okay, well, if they said Croatan, they're probably with the Croatan Indians, like where the Outer Banks is now. And so he went down there, but then a storm kept him from it, so they never went back. And then every time, like, future colonists tried going to the Outer Banks to find those lost, like, however many dozens of people, they kept running into storms at the Outer Banks. So it wasn't until, like, 1700 they finally got down there, and there was no trace of any settlers, but there were, like, Native Americans with, like, blue eyes and kind of lighter hair, and they did see some kind of artifacts. So it's assumed that they assimilated. It's not entirely certain. There are rumors that, like, they were enslaved by other Native Americans. They could have been killed, but there was no signs of a struggle at the colony. So it's like, I don't know. It's a matter of trying to find something interesting enough and terrifying enough from the Native. Because, like I said, I mean, you have plenty of movies and stories about the lost colony, but, like, just from the Native Americans' perspective, like, it'd be kind of neat.
So what really happened in your
really-
movie?
I haven't figured it out yet.
That got him.
But look into some Native American folklores about different creatures and beings and stuff like that to try to fill in that blank. But I'm still figuring it out. But I'll let you know when I get there. So.
Well, I figured out I can't be a janitor in that movie.
You can't. I'm sorry. You can be a
So it
colonist,
sounds
though.
like I'll be horse number 4.
Horse number 4. We'll have DJ be
I'll
the
try-
ass, and you can be the front. Let's do that.
That's perfect.
Oh god.
But yeah, sorry, I was taking a long time plugging myself. But yeah, Batman coming out soon. Check out the teaser trailer. It's gonna be a good time.
Teaser trailer, Dawn of Fear. I want to be in that too. I want to be in everything. It should be everything.
I'll see if I
It'll
can
be
squeeze
everything.
you in. I might be able to. We're gonna be filming possibly August 2nd through 4th.
Wait, August?
October, sorry. Can't go back and past that.
Okay.
Might be able to. I'll let you know if I can squeeze you in. We'll see.
Sweet.
We'll see. Might be
Chris?
able to get you in there somewhere.
You shameless plug the fuck out of yourself earlier. I think I did a good job of doing that too. But any other words?
I'm sorry I was late. We won't have it again. That's all.
Go to Weevil.com.
Weaver.com,
Weaver, sorry.
BurgerBait.com, FosterKidFilms.com. Go to youtube.com/travelingtechers and
Like,
subscribe to their channel.
That's right.
And in about like a week or so, we will have a video up shouting out the Burger Bait experimental documentary. God, it took forever to get back to my mind and remember.
Yeah.
To go over that. And Corbin, seriously though, dude, if you ever want to do like a little like same thing with your stuff, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Especially like Dawn of Fear. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But regardless,
We'll do something. We'll do something.
Yes, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Please, please, please. But
Yes.
it's been awesome, a pleasure. So glad to have all of us together. This has been in the works forever, let alone getting you guys back on.
Yeah, man.
But I look forward to next time and all these future projects. So DJ, take it away.
bye.
And it's done. Man, that was a long ass episode. That was
That
fun
was
as
a
fuck.
lot of fun.